everyone. My cat was in my chair. Hi, everyone. My cat was in my chair. Alright, let me mute that now. Alright, Muddy, you can go. Sorry. Sorry, girl. I need the chair. We got games to play. Sorry, this also needs to get set. New tab. Talishar. There we go. Clash is fun! Cat hype, cat hype. Yes, yes. And that's not the right web address. 1 second. There we go. There we go. Almost echo moment. Yeah, I forgot to mute the thing. I do a sound check before, but we're good now. We're good now. Also, hey, look at that speedy response time because there is no delay anymore. Everything has been fixed. I said that last stream, but we're just going to keep getting excited about it because it's pretty cool. Also, new overlay. Where am I? What is this? I'll do the mime thing. What is this? We got a new overlay, which is supposed to be a bit lined up better for the viewer experience. I was going through trying to see what differences I could make to the stream, and look at this. Look at this. Now when we are in a Talishar game, you guys have the chat in that little fill space here, right? You got that. Oh, I also need to remember to do the custom cursor. I'm supposed to do this. You got yourselves over here, not taking up any space. Stream schedule. You can now see what turn it is, and the chat is not displaced anymore. So I think it's just straight improvements. And then Talishar themselves also did a couple improvements, like they changed it so the AP will bounce back and forth. You know who has the action point. Anyway, home page. Pablo. Oh, this is... Wait. Pablo Pintor, like the actual Pablo? No. I didn't know your last name was Espinosa. Is this the real Pablo? Practice against Levia. I'm using your tricks against you. I think it's the real Pablo. What is happening? Well, that's a bit daunting. I can't... I guess I can't stream anymore, guys. I can't. I can't leak the strats on how to beat me. It's not fair. I don't even know what deck he's on. It's not fair. He knows I'm on Levia. Okay, there's also other things bouncing around. I think I got my perfect hero for Clash. Shapeshifter. New overlay looks dope. Thank you. Yep, was finishing PhD. Now migrated to Fab. Heard you suck at it as much as you sucked at L5R. Oh, you got some Pablo beef in between you guys. I see. It's the real him. Don't worry, it's pretty late. Yeah, that's right. Go to bed. I'll wait. Go to bed. I'll wait. What are you playing, Pablo? Can you tell me? I mean, you know I'm on Levia. That's not anything new. Are you on Viserai? Are you on Iyslander? Yeah, it's not fair. Everyone knows I'm on Levia. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me load up this insanely hyped video. Like, it's unreal how hyped this is. Okay, also, hold up a second. Little rant moment, by the way. Little rant moment. I do feel bad that the Clash event is locked at 8 players, first of all. Yes. It's only 8 players. I know a lot of people were really interested in it. The problem was, I was talking with people about doing 16 or even like 32-man bracket, and the issue was people just couldn't commit to that much time for an event, right? It's a lot to say, hey, let's like play 2 matches per week. Let's like go ahead, record them, let's put them out there. So I did have to reel it back down to just 8 because it's just like a little bit of a test run. I do feel bad. There's a lot of people who wanted to be in the event, but it is sad to see. This is not the first post I've seen like this, where people are like, if you weren't cool enough to get the invite, blah, blah, blah. I guess I wasn't cool enough either. Okay, I feel bad. Like, what else do you want me to say? I had to cap it at 8. I had to cap it at 8. All right, anyway, side note. What I was trying to find was, where can I find... I can just look up Flake, actually. Flake. If you guys don't know what this whole I'm playing... Luke! Wait a second. Luke, let me check something. Because I had my list, right? And I'm about to, like, probably give myself a bad rep for this. I had my list of people... Here's some ASMR. I had my list of people I was inviting. You were number 3 on the list. DM Armada, Sloop, Luke. You were actually number 3 on the list. How did I not invite you? I'm not even kidding. I might have just forgot in the end. That is unfortunate. Oh well. Sorry, buddy. You were there. I tried. Rip Fluke. No longer a content creator, I guess. He's out. No love forgotten. Oh, geez. Okay, okay. But the thing to talk about, the thing to start this stream off with, is the most intense hype video I think I've ever seen. God, how much do you post, Flake? Where's the freaking thing? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, I guess it was Tannen. All right, folks. I'm gonna mute the background music. If you haven't seen this, this might be the most hyped video in the Flesh and Blood world. Look at this. Watch.
Greater Fist is going out for the block, which is going to stop the 2 damage off the blue Spellblade Assault.
What if we gathered 16 of the world's best Flesh and Blood players and put them head-to-head?
Belittle, creating a rune chant, attacking with overload, and that's
goddamn!
game!
Oh my god, it's
Matthew
so
Fultz
hype.
is your
Who did
second
this? Who
Pro
designed this?
Tour
It's so
champion.
insane.
16 of the world's toughest Flesh and Blood players duke it out for a $2,000 prize pool.
Whew.
All the action starts October 14th.
That's next
a
week.
Friday night kickoff. Join Mitch Leslie, Tannen Grace, and Matt DeMarco for a Flesh and Blood event like no other.
All right, good lord. There you go. That's the video. Now this event, the Goliath Gauntlet, as they just said, they're claiming it's 16 of the world's best. I don't think it can be true because somehow I'm on that list, which there's no reason to put me on that list, but I'm on the list. And so this Goliath Gauntlet event, I talked about it a little bit yesterday because they told me they were going to drop the video, and then sure enough, they dropped this fantastic masterpiece. I'll be playing against Pablo Pintor, who's in the chat right now, in round 1. It's a 16-man bracket. I believe it's just single limb, so like, Jesus, like I'm probably just out like that. But maybe Levia brings us that win. You never quite know. Yeah, that'll be a game that we play tomorrow that I guess will be released next week. I don't know. Am I allowed to tell you who wins immediately? I'm not sure. Are we allowed, Pablo? Do you know? Because if I like lose, I'll tweet it. Or if I win, you bet I'm tweeting it, right? But anyway, that game is getting played tomorrow, which is the point of tonight. The point of tonight is lock the list. I submitted a list that's probably like at least 74 cards correct, if not higher than that. But it needs to be the list that I like don't touch starting with the first game, right? Fab and synthwave vibes, goddamn. Oh, I agree. I'm jiving. I watched that video maybe like 1,000 times. I'm not even kidding. I just had it on repeat. Pablo, best Fab player, world's winner, knows value when he sees it. Yeah, so he recognizes you, Fluke. I'm sorry. I tried. My paper said I did. Best Levia player count as world's best. That's what they think, I guess. I think their hope is, maybe initially the plan was that everyone plays a different hero. But honestly, the back end of the organization has been like pretty hands off. So I don't think that's really what ended up happening. That might have been like the initial plan. That might have been like why they invited me. They wanted to. I wanted to play Iyslander, but I've been playing her a lot lately. Yeah, see, okay, that's what I thought. I thought Viserai, if not Viserai, Iyslander. Those are the top 2 I'd put you on, for sure, But who knows? Who knows? Maybe you surprise us all with a Dromai, with a Levia of your own. How insane if we convince Pablo to play Levia for this event. Can we do it? Could we do it? Well, that'd be kind of nuts. A Levia mirror match round 1? Guarantee that a Levia makes it to the top 8? I like it. Oh, so he brought something that isn't played that much. Oh, okay, so, you're not letting us know then. But it'll be spicy, I guess. Well, the spicier the better, because you're going to be playing against the spiciest deck in the room, Levia. I don't think an Azalea will represent herself, so Levia will probably be the spice. Speaking of, let me see. Now here's the downside. Pablo, you can like scout me so hardcore. The list is right here. This is what we're going to lock in on. Something along these lines. Full aggro Levia, 1,000%, 1,000%. I do need to build it to compete with Phi, is like the real fear. That's where there's hiccups. But for the most part, like very, very happy with most of this deck. Very, very happy. Do you think Fab should bring in something like Hatamoto status at big events for top placing heroes? Would incentivize people to try different decks with different heroes. I imagine that's an L5R reference. And before Pablo says Kano. Oh, God. Is it really Kano? Can you not? Can you not? I mean, we'll have fun, but we'll only have fun for like 3 turns. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll find out. Well, I guess we'll find out. What we need though are the reps. We need to fine tune. We need to find the cards we hate, and we need to fix those cards, right? So it is Levia games tonight. I know. Tried to spice it up. I tried. Played some Dromai. Played some Iyslander. Played the Fi. Oh, okay. Actually, this is quite nice. I do want to play against Fi. Hi. I mean, I'm not keen to lose against this Fi. It's what's going to happen. But I do want to push and see how close we can get it. This deck is so chock full of non-blocks. I still hate the idea of going second. Oh, God. I think we'll start first. There's too many non-blocks. If he's absolutely going to throw damage turn 1, because you leak against pretty much any deck. So I can't take that risk. Pablo, you're bringing a rune? Well, it can't be Young Chain anymore. But that would have been hot. That really would have been the play. Eh? Pablo brings Taylor. Alright. This is fine. I mean, our damage won't land. We'll get some proactive graveyard fill, and we get to Arsenal and Endless Maw. I think we like it. It's pretty much all we could have hoped for, and we even trim a non-block from the deck. Really not so bad. Get this out of here. Give us some pitch cards, eh? Plan is I'm the wild card. I guess that's what it is, right? They wanted, like, the one underdog. I get it. I guess I get it. Alright, this is actually also fine as well. 2-card hand for 8. We still didn't find the blue for Endless, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Man, it's so annoying, this card. But he did pitch a Phoenix. Do we already sack the Skull Crushers on this? This effectively blocks an extra 1. Sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. Honestly, if I lose to you on Levia, I'm happy. Okay, cool. Well, then I'll be happy too. Obviously, if that's the outcome, how could I not be happy? It'd be pretty legendary for the brand, you know? Pretty legendary. The Levia taking down the best player in the world. Ooh. Someone join the league, Chris. Thank you, thank you. I do think you're the best player in the world. That's why I'm so anxious about it, you know? That's why I gotta clickbait the hell out of this. Alright. Hatamoto was a title you'd get for top place at a particular clan, irrespective of overall placement. Multiple Hatamotos in the same season gave you top of clan place and world's invite. Okay, let me follow that again. Hatamoto is a title you get for top place. Respective of placement. Top of clan. Oh, I get what you're saying. Oh, yeah, okay. There was that used to be a thing as well in X-Wing. The game I used to play a bunch is you would actually get, if you were like the best in faction at an event, you would pick up those similar type of rewards. If I have to lose against something, is there anything cooler than Levia? Nah, that's truth. That is the way. All right, so at this point, I think we're almost just committed to letting this be a mass turn because we will outdamage it. We will outdamage it. I'd rather... I mean, this was a 5-card hand from him, but it was a Phoenix and Arsenal, so it's not going to be his biggest turn. We'll let the mass through. Not too worried about it. FFG games had this. Yep. X-Wing was an FFG game. Saint is all Saint. Oh, that's me. Sant, he means. Mansant. We all know Levia is all you know. It's okay. What are you talking about? I 4-0'd with Fi at Nats, brother. I'm a Fi player, not God. I'm a Fi player now. And I played a couple games of Dromai. And I won a couple games with Iyslander. I play other decks. They're just not fun. That's the issue. Jesus, how much damage are you going to deal, man? Alright, not that much, honestly. I think we were fine with this. Really could have been worse. Basically, all we did was give him an arsenal. I'm sure it's a fine arsenal card, but whatever. Okay, actually, we do prefer keep... Okay, let's play the next one. Oh my god! Alright, well, we can't make it triple Blood Rush, but that's pretty fantastic. Wow. I'll take this. I love how this worked out. It's unfortunate because we won't play the third Blood Rush this game, but hey, we're stacking the damage. We'll take it. We will take it. Can't be mad about it. Woo! Used to always beat Scum and... I used to be the best Scum and Villainy player at X-Wing tournaments I went to. Guri was broken as fuck. You know what's funny about Guri is I also loved Guri, and then when my mom adopted her cat, she was asking for names, and I didn't come up with anything that special, but she ended up naming him Guri, out like based on the name, or based off the Spanish word augurio, because she thought of him as like a good omen or whatever. And you spell Guri as in Guri, just with an accent mark, right? So we kind of have a Star Wars themed cat in the house, because she donated him to me. She didn't want him anymore. It's kind of sad. Man. Well, we put him at 7 on turn 2. How can we be mad about it? He just ate it. I don't think I can complain. We even have a 12 damage hand that scales down pretty well, because with the Endless Maw as well. So what we can try to do is Endless Maw Arsenal into Endless Maw, just present 2 turns of 9 back to back. Tends to be pretty big. We can also go for a 12 damage turn now, present 9 next, but we're losing 1 card of block. I think I'd rather try to go for 9/9. Is a little bit better. It lets us block a bit more. Suntir was the coolest ship ever. Oh, you played X-Wing. Whoa, how cool. How cool, how cool. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we can let that one through. That's pretty funny. Give Guri an extra pet next time. Yeah, he's right over there. He's messing with my, I have a leopard gecko that I bought for literally no good reason. I just really thought she was pretty. And, the cats just kind of do this all day. They just watch her. They're friendly. They're friendly about it. They don't fuck with her. But, like, that's all they do. Pablo Pintor, use your combined powers to push LSS for best of hero prizes at big events, incentivize diverse meta. I don't know how much pull I've got with LSS anymore. I got skipped over for this whole early spoiler season thing that's been going around. Where the heck, man? I thought I was in good graces. I guess not. Or maybe they didn't only ship those to like Australia and New Zealand folks, because I know the card guys got one. Anyway, I'm not actually salty about that. I don't actually care. I'm getting a spoiler card anyway. It was just funny because normally I would like almost expect that they reach out about those kinds of things. They do like me, and I like them back. I definitely like them back. Soul Beat Strike. Okay, well, unfortunately that does threaten our husk, so I guess we can crown, which I don't love doing, because we get no value out of it, and we put ourselves at 3. We could also just husk it, but I'm not keen to do that. Like, no freaking way do I want to do that. Husk can stop so much more, because we're about to throw 9/9. So I guess we do just crown. Don't love it. Not going to sink anything. Nope. We are fine with these cards. Cool. Please. Okay, nice. It actually, funny enough, did hit 2 misses. It hit Blood Rush. Crown stayed. That's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine. Levia card is too spicy to be revealed this soon. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. At least we know Levia is getting a card now. No, even that is not confirmed anymore. It kind of used to be my feeling, because they said I was getting a Levia card, but they walked back on that statement. Now it's back to just generic terminology of I'm just getting a spoiler card. So I don't know, maybe it was just a slip up the first time, or maybe they like actually had to roll back their language because it isn't a real Levia card. Who knows? Who knows? Big sad. The one cool thing so far with that new axe, and someone pointed this out on Twitter, is that if there's generic axe support coming, I'm not sure why there would be, but like maybe a new attack reaction that deals with axes. Meat axe, baby. That's a card. That's a card that's an axe. It's not a great weapon, but it is a weapon that Levia can play. So maybe some sideways support coming in that sense. Just shadow card that could work in Levia? Oh, hell yeah. Honestly, now that Chain's gone and that they're going to for sure kind of like re-release him in whatever sense, they can get a bit crazier with the shadow stuff. Because they definitely had to walk a fine line with Chain being the menace he was. Chain was the scary part of the whole shadow theme, not Levia. Okay, well this hand also scales really well. We can make it deal 10 off 3. We can deal 9 off 2. We're not looking to close the game just yet, but he did lose his armor, and he's going for a 4-card Art of War, which is really nothing special. And we still have Husk and Scabs, and we want to block, so cool. Cool. All right, well, we can go ahead and use Husk on that. It's normally pretty hard to get it to block the exact 6 unless you hold it till the end of the chain for like Lava Burst or something, which, I mean, sure, he could do that in this scenario, but then we'd be leaking all this damage that would make Husk disappear anyway. Okay, so we definitely don't need this card, so we can block pretty cleanly with it, but then we'll try to hold the rest of our hand. In case he has like a snatch, we can go ahead and dump the Graveling Scabs. This we eat. We definitely eat it. And okay, there is the clean 6 on Lava Burst. I mean, we take the 6, we go to 7, we throw 10 back at him. He's got only the 1 armor block left. So he has to block, you know, at least with 2 real cards. So I think because of that, we can go ahead and keep the Endless Maw in that scenario. Or rather, we can keep the Endless Maw play for next turn and just play this right now. The other option is to Dread Screamer into Endless right now, but that actually doesn't guarantee lethal. And we'd play out our only way of turning off Blood Debt in Arsenal. And we don't want to leave ourselves open to just a brick. So I think we are fine with this. Also, speaking of these like lines I'm talking through, I had a freaking revelation today because I recorded a couple videos with Viserai, the Levia player from Greece, who got top 4, right? I recorded some videos with him today, and we got to talk together through some Levia games. We played 2 Levia games, one versus Dorinthea, one versus Dash, and it was actually like really cool to hear someone else who's like confident in their Levia decision making and like actually like a little bickery, you know, like back and forth, like no, you do this, no, you do that, which is cool because most other people like are never in that spot with Levia. All right, now we can question ourselves though. He did go ahead and commit the block on here. He does have to block with 1 more card. I think we're still fine. We're still fine. Just Graveling. Because the Endless Maw off of a better Go Again card is just going to guarantee lethal. Yeah, we're fine throwing it this way. So that videos will be fun. I'm going to edit those out. Yeah, okay, so now we have another insanely good turn. We're still not looking to play the Endless Maw out, but we have our Graveling Dread Screamer turn for 13. Pretty nuts. That video will probably be coming out over the weekend. I need to obviously prep for Pablo's game first and then edit those things together. And then I do have a busy weekend, but I will find time to get those out there because it's good content. It's good content. Oh man, blocking with 3 cards to prevent 6. We like that. Let's show you 7 and see if you survive. Let's find out. GG's. Sweet. All right, we beat the Fi. Now the change we made to the list did nothing. The change we made by adding, well, okay, to be fair, we added Skull Crushers, and that was good. Skull Crushers was good. We also added the That All You Gots. They did absolutely nothing, but in theory, they pull off quite a bit. Well played, mate. That wasn't you, was it? What the hell? Oh, wait, Pablo, I thought you said you're not watching these games. I thought you said you can't. Come on, man. Don't spoil it for yourself. No. You can stay. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I want, like, honestly, I don't want Levia to get a win just because of unfamiliarity's sake. That's lame. I definitely get those games in like a big tournament, but for this event with all the good players, I would hope you people respect Levia enough to actually know what's going on. So you can stay, buddy. It's all good. Levia 1, 5-0. Yeah. Oh, speaking of these updates to the speaking of these updates, win. If you look at the scrolling text on the bottom, along with the rest of this overlay. Wait, I'm pointing the wrong direction. Look at the rest of this overlay. I hope you all enjoy it. If you look at the scrolling text on the bottom, I'm making a bet. I'm making a bet with you all, you viewers. If Phi doesn't win SCGCon Dallas, I will eat the Pocky One Chip Challenge. This is supposedly like, you know, Reaper pepper plus Scorpion pepper. One of the hottest things you can eat, supposedly. And I'm betting everything that Phi wins Dallas. I like, that's my hedge on this new meta, is Phi is actually going to be not like a problem, but he will just be very, very strong and very represented. So I'm eager to see it. I'm eager to see it. If Phi doesn't win, though, we'll be eating this. Just like a fun little personal bet, because I've had this floating around for a while, but with no good reason to eat it. And this isn't a great reason to eat it, but like, you know, it's something. It's something fun to do. So, how was the Clash Party yesterday? Oh, yeah, Clash Party. Yes, that actually went really well. Clash was a lot of fun last night. I had 2 friends over who played Magic. And they were interested in getting into Fab. All right, looks like it's a DC lobby. They were interested in getting into Fab, and I built a Dromai and a Bolton deck for them to play against each other. I actually didn't get to play, because it was mostly... Oh, nice. I good look at them. I actually didn't get to play. I just taught them the game and like watched and helped a bit. And they really enjoyed it. I didn't really overly explain that Clash is not a real format. They just like played the game to learn the game. And Patreon perk. And they loved it. Like, legitimately, they were converted instantly. The Dromai with Ash generation and like a little bit of permanence, plus Bolton with like 5-card hand setup and Soul. Those were like that middle tier of deck that was a little hard for them to catch on to at first, but they absolutely loved it. I was happy. I was happy with that evening. All right, we'll add this. We'll add those. The anti-fatigue package. Yeah, it went over super well. I wish I would have been able to jump in for a game, but in all honesty, they were very new. So tomorrow at my armory, I went ahead and asked the players to build some Clash decks, and we'll hang out and play some Clash games after the armory tomorrow. And everyone I asked so far, like 3 people, said they would. So I'll at least have some of that to report back with. This can go here. We discarded that. Cool. We're just going to make it a 12 damage turn. Not worry about Arsenal. Commoner not bad either. Commoner's not bad, but you know how fun it is to like be playing Bolton and then you draw a Lumina Ascension? Oh, first of all, playing Bolton with Raiden, first of all. And like you're playing Bolton and like you're getting the hang of it and like you're trying to play for 5-card hands. And then you draw into Lumina and you're like, oh, I get it. I get it. This is the payoff. Like, this is what I'm building for my big turns. Like, it is like a Lumina play. It landed really well. Like, and especially Dromai over what Dromai could do in Commoner, right? Dromai has access to the rare dragons. And that really opens her up. Like, people are so sold on that. Whereas if you played her in Commoner, she just wouldn't have anything beyond an Ashwing. So, I think it landed pretty well. They liked it, and we'll be playing some more games tomorrow. And so far, feedback has been pretty good, other than the fact that everyone's crying that they're not in the 8-man launch event, which I get it. I get it. Everyone wants to be a part of it. I appreciate it. But unfortunately, with time commitment of some of the bigger players like Team Covenant and DM Armada, they couldn't commit to a larger bracket, which I totally understand. Phi and Commoner is kind of dumb. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of fun playing against Phi. nor Ira when I was at the Pro Tour Lille Commoner event. I just bubbled out. I was like 10th into Top Cut playing Dromai. I was 4-2 with Dromai. I lost like round 3 and round 6, something like that. And I still bubbled out, which was unfortunate. Oh, I forgot he has passing out. Well, we didn't really want to clear passing that turn anyway. I guess we could have just mandible clear passing and arsenal would have been fine. I honestly didn't even notice it was out. All right, but he has like the double phantasm out anyway, so not the biggest deal. We wouldn't be able to interact with the dragons regardless. Cool, we'll take 2 damage. Thank you. All right, now Moragai is very unfortunate to clear, other than with a blue Dread Screamer, because this build doesn't run any Ghostly Visit. The Ghostly Visit would have been pretty nice. So we can kind of take the off turn. He doesn't even have an arsenal, so if we really wanted to, we could just swing into Moragai, claw, clear the passing off of the Art of War. We have the swing big we could potentially throw, though. I don't think we'll go for the double clear this turn. Let's go ahead with go again, banish. Okay, that's about what we wanted. We can still throw a bunch face and then go ahead claw clear the passing. Worry about the miraging later. That's fine. That is about what we wanted. To be honest, KO been my go-to blitz hero, so with Clash can work easily. Yeah, you don't get Gambler's Gloves, which is normally a pretty big safety net he has, but I mean that's okay, right? Yeah, Prism's also pretty good. Prism is definitely pretty fire in Clash. I've been hearing a lot of people saying, thank God, like Prism is playable again. But the thing about it is, with a sideboard, yeah, you get ready to roll, that's true. With the sideboard, stuff like Prism isn't that degenerate. Like, you can legitimately put cards in your deck to try to shore up matchups. It's not like the biggest sideboard of all time, but it's functional. And with the way matchups are getting in Flesh and Blood, where there are some really polarizing matchups, it is nice. It is nice to have sideboard options. Okay, this hand is pretty serviceable. Pretty serviceable. We do have the Blue Dread Screamer we were talking about to throw at Moragai. Do we really care if he draws a card? Honestly, not so much. I don't want to block with armor on that. There's more relevant ones. Or there's more relevant times for that. Because he's not necessarily even playing this out right now. Yeah, I don't really care on the card draw here. Yeah, see, so Prism gains some things with sideboarding, but also now every deck is going to gain a little bit from sideboarding. Okay, they play out an E-Pot. I mean, that's fine. So by taking damage, I gave him an E-Pot. I mean, that's okay, but it's not going to tilt the matchup too terribly one way or another. So now we're pretty free to just try to go Dread Screamer, Wild Ride, Claw, Kyloria, Arsenal is pretty decent. That is pretty good here. We're wasting 1 damage by playing the yellow into the Moragai, but we need the blue pitch. We do need the blue pitch. I still think Shapeshifter are going to be strong. Yeah, well, it's pretty funny because, yes, Shiana is very playable. Like, in a way, you would get access to the most powerful cards. I mean, in a vacuum, they're not necessarily powerful. They need to be around their hero, but Shiana could build them in a way to be powerful, yes. Indeed. Oh, this is amazing. All right, we actually prefer this in Arsenal over the Graveling like 10 times. Because the Graveling is going to be good next to our Dread Screamers, which we already spent 2 of them just now. Pulping is just going to be live off blue or yellow in hand. And it's just another way to kick off the turn. We'll go ahead and take this shot to clear Kyloria. Because this deck doesn't really want to block, so we're losing another 1 damage this way, but Kyloria would be the kind of dragon we do need to pop. You don't have to worry about it, though. This way. Shiana with Crippling Crush. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen some crazy plays at the UPF tournament. There was the UPF tournament at the first Pro Tour where a Shiana was... There was, first of all, a Shiana and a Taylor at the table. But the Shiana kept copying KO and then launching like Alpha Rampage, Crippling Crush. I think that's kind of it for the big attacks, but I distinctly remember it worked 3 times. 3 times where it was, oh, Crippling for 22. Crippling for 22. Alpha Rampage for 18. It was nuts. It was nuts. So yeah, if there's a KO at the table, be scared. Definitely be scared. Well, this hand triggers Rouse. I mean, that's pretty beautiful. That is pretty beautiful. So we don't worry about these Ashwings. We just take our turn. Yep. Take him, take him, take him. Do you drop another dragon or end? Okay, so 1 card inefficient. We have 1 blood debt, not the biggest deal. Okay, so in terms of what we can try to make the pulping draw or discard, if we just leave the Graveling on top, then we guarantee a Graveling in Arsenal, which I'm actually totally fine with. I am totally fine with just guaranteeing we get a Graveling. No randomness in that case. What is up? What's up? I'm not going to say your name. Sorry. But I acknowledge your message. Shiana copying the Emperor to play CNC from deck. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty cool. Does it? Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that'll be something that Shiana legitimately needs to like run CNC for. Cool. Cool. Marios, do you play Fab or not? Didn't Vasily spam you? You must play Fab, Marios. Like, you're here all the time, unless you just casually view it. We take 1 blood debt, not a big deal. We arsenal the Graveling for when we see the Red Dread Screamer, which is now, we haven't seen for a whole turn cycle, so that's probably coming up. We can go this way, arsenal. Hey, and look at that. This is bad, though. I freaking hate... I mean, Deep-Rooted Evil is such a nasty card to just draw naturally. Unless you have an Art of War in Arsenal, card is so bad. So bad. Alright, he played a Chromai, so if we're looking to pop, it would be pop on the Chromai. And, I mean, yeah, we kind of do want to pop the Chromai. If he swings with it, might as well. Alright, he does swing with it. So we can go ahead and get rid of the Graveling then. We won't need it. Our turn is 1 pitch inefficient. But that's okay. That will be fine. And then we go here. And we toss it all face. Started recently, not there yet though. Vasily hasn't spammed you at all. Well, you're about to get spammed with a bunch of Vasily videos coming from me over the weekend. We recorded some stuff to put out together. DM me on Facebook because I got no idea who you are. Moved from Greece to the UK. Oh, I thought you were in Greece as well. Alright, today we learn. Alright, so far we've gotten to this point in the game without playing a Blood Rush yet. Did we play like 1 Art of War? I think we did play 1 Art of War, right? We played 1 Art of War, so we're like very comfortable. This is really this is a pretty low effort position we're in because Dromai should not be trying to tempo you out. It just doesn't work. Like Dromai should be trying to fatigue you, trying to build that big dragon swing turn. They can't tempo you out because you'll just take it away with 1 block. We can arsenal the Doomsday. It's minorly greedy. It's moderately greedy, I guess. We're going to block with the Beast Within for sure, and then we're going to roll Scabs, because if we do hit, it'll be Boneyard Swing Big. If we don't, then it's just Boneyard Pitch Swing Big anyway. This should be fine. As I said, the Greeks are coming. Think 510 really competitive people who just stormed the L5R scene. That's cool. It's cool to hear that, like, the Greek... Oh, I don't even have an arsenal, bro. It's cool to hear that, like, the Greek L5R players switched to Fab, because I've heard from, like, some Italian players that it was the Keyforge players who flipped to Fab. And, like, back in Michigan, it was the Destiny players who flipped to Fab. So we're like a, you know, super multicultural community. People came from other games. It's rare to have... What the hell happened? What? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, this is still fine, because we're going to go ahead and pop it. Yeah. All right, well, it's free information for us. I don't hate it. We'll roll scabs. If we hit, we hit. If we don't, we still have our play. Not the biggest pressure turn, but it's fine. Roll the 3. Nah, we'll take it. We'll go ahead and throw 6 at face. We're going to be blocking with Husk probably within like the next 2 turn cycles. That'll put us at 4 blood debt. So 1 more banish realistically gets us to playing Doomsday anyway. So probably playing Doomsday out. If we don't, and we really need something, then of course Crown will just cycle it through anyway. Yeah, it was weird. In Michigan, there were a lot of Destiny players. That Star Wars like die rolling card game. I'm not quite sure what the allure was in Michigan specifically, but I swear like the Destiny community was popping in Michigan. But then Destiny was considered a completed game, and then everyone had to find a new game. And the new game they found was Fab, which is pretty nice. All right, actually, we arsenaled this, and we know that he has a CNC. I guess that was, like, mildly dumb, but we shouldn't know he had a CNC. He wasn't supposed to show us that. So this is just what we would have done regardless, I guess. So that's fine. That is fine. In Worlds 2019, last Worlds ever before the pandemic and death of the game, 3 out of the top 8 clan players who got invited were Greek. Oh, wow. I didn't know L5R was actually dead. Or maybe just dead in Greece. I could have sworn stuff was still coming out, but maybe not. Okay, yeah, so this is the CNC that we shouldn't know he had, so... I mean, it's fine, we're completely covered by it, because we still have Crown up. So, really not scared of this. We take 4 damage, we cycle that, our Blood Rush is well and live. Yeah, okay, and this is like our first Blood Rush. Like I was saying, we really haven't stressed our power cards yet. We could even hit Beast Within, which would be hilarious. We didn't. We hit a blue. It's actually kind of like the worst one to hit, but the way we draw it now... The way we draw it now does present a lot of damage. Right now we've got Claw Pulping. We can get greedy with Pulping first. This could be a defense reaction though, and he does run them. He does run at least the Fates, so we haven't seen Sync yet, so we shouldn't do that. We can also try to lead with Savage Feast. If we hit on Scabs, I just don't think we need to. We don't need to. Like, our turn plays out just fine. He's at 9. No need to be greedy about it. L5R is dead from FFG. It's continued by a team of people who are creating new cards, but the company dropped it. Same with Netrunner? Oh, Jesus, what is wrong, FFG? Like, I know they got sold to, what's that French company? Asmodee? Something like that? FFG definitely, like, had that change of ownership. That shook up a lot. Like, X-Wing was transferred to Atomic Mass Games, which is, like, I think another shell company within, not shell company, but, you know, subsidiary or something of Asmodee. And with that change, it kind of died. I can't call X-Wing dead because there's definitely people who like what happened to it. But it's not the same game. So is Pintor. Wait, is Pablo like actually a world-renowned L5R player? It from the looks of it, sounds like he is. But I don't know anything about that scene. I was very distracted with, oh, he is. He is. All right, let's see what we can find about him. Pablo Pintor, L5R, World Championships. Hails from the Winter Court. It looks like he at least made a top 8. All right, buddy. There's no way you win by trading a 2 block for 1 block there. Sorry. Yep, this will go face as well. Oh, wonderful. So the Dominate goes through, so like we could just win anyway. But regardless, Art of War and Arsenal is sick, and GG's. GG's. Alright, Levi, you sneaky deck. You just take these wins out of the clutches of our opponents, don't you? Yes, you do. Alright, well, that's a quick 2-0 with Levi. Quick 2-0. I'm very impressed with the ease of those games. There was no stress there. But against Pablo, whole different world. I'm literally stressed now thinking about tomorrow. Will I sleep tonight? Probably not. Good luck, man. Saint, you got this. Thank you, Nate. Nate Smith sounds very familiar. Do I know you in real life? Or maybe it's just like a familiar name. Okay, let's see. Well, those games didn't give me much information about like what to change. The deck just did function. Rouse was even playable for cycle both games, which feels great. I dropped the Red Hungering Slaughter Beast. I just like never actually want to play that card. Instead, I get my 7 value out of the Yellow Wrecker instead, which maintains some of the pitch this deck wants. I'm not a huge fan of Savage Feast in every matchup, but we also aren't even at 80 cards. Right now, I've got it at 67 and 12. So that is still missing a card to be true 80. We're at 79. I'm just like pretty happy with the deck is what it is. Just not much to touch. But we'll keep trying. Is there a competitive CC game? No, not yet. So we'll make one. Is the match going to be live tomorrow or recorded? It's being recorded for this Goliath Gauntlet series, which, hey, we might as well watch the video again. Why not? We got more people here. And then, all right, never mind. We got an opponent. We'll watch the video in a second. But there is a Goliath Gauntlet Invitational going on with 16 of what they call the best Flesh and Blood players in the world, but somehow I'm on that list, which, hey, I'll take it. I'm fine with that. But yes, I'm on that list, and our match in the first round of the 16-man bracket is against Pablo, and we have to play it tomorrow. I believe it'll get uploaded on Tanin's channel or Flake's channel or something next week. I'm also not sure if I'm allowed to say who wins or not, like, as it happens. Of course, I would love to share, because, I mean, I'll know tomorrow. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say or not. Visualize the win. Pablo is nothing. Easy clap. That's not fair. Oops. Hi. Good luck. Have fun. To be fair, though, like, I've played against not, like, all the best players, but I played against most of them by now, I think. What did he say? Player 2 will go first. Okay, if he goes first, I actually do prefer to take Null Rune. It's unfortunate, but he can just build up too much too early, so we will take it. I don't know if he's playing Viserai. I don't know. He said he's playing a Runeblade, so it's either Viserai or Briar, right? That's all that's left. Can't play Young Chain anymore. But yeah, at this point, I've played against Michael Hamilton 3 times. Our record is 1-2. I won once, he won twice. I've played against Brody Spurlock, and my record is like 5-0, but granted, they were test games. They don't really count. I've played against Hayden Dale. Our record is 1-1. I've played against definitely other people. Now I feel bad because I don't remember anything. Okay, this is fine. We can fill our graveyard. Of course, we would have preferred to discard the Graveling, keep the Dread, but it's no biggie. Fill the graveyard a little bit. What did he even do? Just pitch into Grasp? It's really not so bad. Oh, I played against Yongji, record 1-0. Played against Yuanji, record 2-0. Played against definitely other people. Man, this sucks. I'm like totally blanking now, but hey, at this point it's been a year of Fab. Definitely played against some greats. All right, this is actually fantastic. We love this draw. We get our 2-card in for 13. We can reset Endless and Arsenal. We can block with Boneyard. Jimmy. Yes, I played against Jimmy Lee. Record 0-1, but to be fair, it was a Levia draw. There was nothing I could do. I would lose that game. I drew all reds. And just lost. But yes, Jimmy Lee, record 0-1. So we don't have the blue to pitch in, so we are going to take all the rune chants. It's definitely, well, it's not a mauve turn, so we shouldn't worry too much about the potential hit effect coming, unless it is like a I guess, like, meet and greet coming out of Arsenal into Rosetta. That'd be unfortunate. But what I'm afraid of is that if it really is just then Rosetta, we'd waste a life, which we don't want to do in this matchup. So I will go ahead and block that. Block that, block that. Hello, Defun. It's Shrill. Okay. Not the biggest deal. Not the biggest deal. In fact, he doesn't swing Rosetta. He favors 3 damage from Shrill over 4 on Rosetta, which I'm very okay with him playing it out that way. That is fine by me. Came a bit late. Are you tuning the deck? Yes. So after this game, we will jump into kind of like the re-intro of what's going on with Pablo. It's super hype. I'm super stoked. But I need to just jam some games real quick because I do want to like legitimately tune the list. Like, I really like it, but it's not even at 80 cards. It's at 79 cards. So there's definitely something to change by a card at least, and there might be more, and we'll find that out tonight. But I will be playing Levia for this tournament, this Goliath Gauntlet tournament against Pablo round 1. Well, we'll jump into that. We'll jump into that in a second. This video, the announcement video, so insane. So I definitely want to give that another watch. But we'll just wrap this game up real quick. I hate taking null rune. Good God. But going second, you risk, like, he could have started, 10 rune chance. It's possible. And if he does that, then you should just commit to saying, all right, my first 3 turns are going to be bad. I'm just going to soak your rune chance. So we did have to take that because we went second, but I hate it. I do hate it. Arsenal. Okay, well, we might end up crowning. What we like about this is if he doesn't attack, if he tries to stick us in our graveyard, we at least can practically fill with pulping. So that's nice. That's nice. But if he does attack, this is a crown hand. I don't... This curve is bad. We're seeing 4 reds right now. Not good. Okay, well, he does try to take that line, though. We discarded Swing Big. Ugh. Alright, well, this hand, like... Ugh, yep. Cost curve didn't change at all. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. Add 1 Arc Smash for dash, took 1 Dread Screamer. Is this like my list though? Because this is different. This is not the Vasily list. Well, I mean, that's the foundation, but I've definitely tweaked it to how I like it. Well, it's just a 9 damage hand, and we take 2 blood debt. Very unhappy with that. But at least it was 9 damage. If we didn't have the pulping, we wouldn't really... Oh no, we had Swing Big. Yeah, we had Swing Big. Yeah, so even if we didn't have pulping, we at least had a play. Because he did try to stick us, right? He did try to not attack, so our graveyard was at 2. Which is definitely a thing you can do against Levia. Definitely a thing. Once again, we are short a blue. We are short a blue. So we really do just have to keep eating rune chance, which is not fun. But he doesn't have go again. It's unlikely that this is a creepers, but I guess it could be. It could be a creepers. It'd be a weak creepers though. Because it would just be like a blue or like a blue pitch here. To then flash this out. This would be something with go again. Nothing would be too relevant. Like Revel wouldn't do it. Maybe like a Sonata would be kind of cool. And then he swings Rosetta. I don't really see that being his turn. So I think we're going to play a little greedy about it. If we block with Graveling, play Pulping, maybe discard Beast Within, obviously sick. If that doesn't happen, rough. But nothing else really works anyway. Is it Creepers this turn? It'd be a little funky. It's not. Okay. Alright. So then we do have the option, we could just pitch for the Endless Maw, Arsenal the Pulping, is one way to do it. I'm feeling a little bit agreed on this. Though. Because we know that's not a defense reaction. So I'm going to do it. And we do hit the Beast Within. We love that, actually. This worked out beautifully. We get our big swing turn in. We can swing with the Endless Maw. We can either choose the Recuromp to go to a Claw, or we could put it in Arsenal for then Crown to have a live target, which is probably the right call. Crown having a target is going to be pretty big, I think. So we'll take it. It's a great turn out of us. We still haven't played a Blood Rush, so we like that. Wow, another pulping with Wild Ride, or with Beast Within. Okay, it can work. It can work. Was Pablo playing with Steven on Tuesday? I don't know who Steven... I'm not sure which Steven you're talking about. Elsa should publish each player's tournament record. It'd be cool to see if you'd click on your name and see who you've beaten. Oh man, if you search me up, it's embarrassing. I have horrible constructed elo because I basically hate played my way through Pro Tour 1. I almost quit the game in that format. Chain Starvo was disgusting. And then to think that like the kind of decks around Chain Starvo were Prism Viserai, even worse. Like I was almost ready to call it. Like really, almost ready to call it. Did he play a red Mauvrin? He did. Yeah, so we are gonna block with these anyway. Unfortunate part is if he has a Revel. Okay, actually, no. We'll undo the block because we do have to Husk here. We risk way too much. We do risk too much because we could pitch the blue in to protect off these 3, then 2 Rune Chants would come in if it's just Rosetta, but we know it's not just Rosetta. So, unfortunately, we will get bad value on the Husk, but we'll do it. We'll do it. Greed is always the answer. Yeah, baby. No, my elo got tanked. Oh yeah, it was a Rebel. Okay, cool. So we're glad we did it that way. My elo tanked at that first Pro Tour because I hate played my way through that format. Levia was probably like one of the worst decks you could play in that format. And yeah, I ate a lot of losses. A lot. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of... I really wish we could crown first to see on the Rune Chance, but we have to make the call now. Yep. Then we'll eat all the rest of these. How fun. Lovely, fun. Yes, thank you. And then we will crown. We actually are in a very good spot though. Like I can't complain about the spot we're in. We still have 3 block here. We're about to set our arsenal. Pulping will definitely not get blocked by any arsenal play. So all right, we draw another blue. It's totally fine. It's a blue we can pitch to get pulping rolling. We discard the blue wrecker. Not great. Not great. In fact, this is really terrible because we didn't draw into a way to turn off Blood Debt. So I guess the safest play would have just been to play the Blue Dread Screamer out. I was getting hopeful though. I was a little too hopeful on that. I'll admit. Definitely too hopeful on that working out, which it did not. Oh well. Yeah, that should have been a Dread. I should have actually played the Dread Screamer. Not gone for this line. Not happy with that. Oh well. We're still going to swing all of these because this is still presenting lethal in theory. We go down to 2 though, and we will just lose this game. That's my bad though. Misplay. Can confirm Mansant was not happy after Pro Tour. Oh man. Yep. It's just how it was. That format was garbage. Format, no fun. Literally anti-fun. The event itself, fun. The game, awful. What's even worse is that every other time I tried to have fun in a different format, like I played Blitz, and my Oldhim opponent, as an example of how my elo really took a hit in every format. Although I don't think Blitz and CC are like the same format, right? So this contributed to it too. I played into an Oldhim at the Battle Hardened, and the Oldhim player goes first and just like, you know, arsenals a card, whatever. And then on my turn, I have a Levia hand that doesn't really do anything, and I go ahead and pretty much like swing 6 or maybe just a claw pass. And then on his turn, he goes Oakenold Fuse. And I block with everything but Husk. So I'm like, okay, you know, yes, he ripped an early Oaken, but I can stabilize after this and then use my Husk to block his second Oaken, and the game's like still just over. But then after the Fuse Oaken, where I don't commit my Husk, he pummels it, and then I lose Husk anyway, and the game was instantly over. So yeah, it was just like not the weekend. Just really was not the weekend. We went to 2. We will lose. Unfortunate. I guess the one thing we can try is pretend he gets into 2. Like, if he doesn't really do anything this turn, then we can still swing. And then, okay. We could arsenal the Reckless, maybe. Would be kind of cool. We'll go ahead and pitch this in. Pitch this. Pitch this. I guess we could... Oh, he pitched an Arknight shard. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, buddy. Yeah, that's a way to do it. That's a way to make Mordred Arknight. Pretty good hand, isn't it? Yep, well, that one we do just have to take, and then we block with Scabs, and then we... Oh, wait, oops. Cancel. Aren't I saying 0? Okay, yeah. We block here. We go to 1, and we pretend that Reckless will kill him. It's possible. It is possible. It'd be a funny way to win, that's for sure. Maybe he's stream sniping. Maybe. But regardless, we should lose this game. We just punted on the Dread Screamer. There's no reason to play it that way. Got insanely greedy on the Beast Within. So this is our game to lose. We deserve it. Yeah, so we can just play the Mark the Beast. Card advantage, Steven. Jacob was busy. I remember seeing a Pablo out of Cape. It was the same one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually not sure what you're talking about anymore, Josh. Card advantage, Steven. There's like a Team Covenant, Steven. Oh my god, he went to 1. I think we win. We actually win. Oh my god. Oh, the brute curse. The brute curse. You can't do this against a brute. You just can't. You shouldn't do it. Shouldn't do it, brother. Yep, and then we can just pay to our Art of War, and then we Reckless on top, and that will be the game. Sure, we can just say Arsenal, and we can say buff. It literally doesn't matter. Because there isn't a rune chant coming at us, right? And even if there is, there's the Art of War. So then we do this, and then we pass, and then we Reckless. Woohoo! GG. All right, we won. All right, we shouldn't have won that game, but that does show you that like you just shouldn't get greedy against brute. Like Viserai wins that every time. Just don't be greedy. GG's. Okay, 3-0. 3-0. Oh man, little defeatist on that game. Not gonna lie. I mean, I should have been over. What is this curl doing? Z is on Team Sant. Z, Josh. I don't know what's going on. I feel like we're not speaking the same language. Who is Z? Who is Card Advantage Steven? Who is this Jacob that was busy? I get Pablo. Pablo is Pablo Pintor. Z is on the same team. Oh, same team. Sunflower Samurai. That's what you're talking about. Okay. All right. Well, now that we've played 3 games of Levia and we're at our 3-0 mark, let's go ahead and spend a moment to watch the most hyped video in the history of Flesh and Blood. And this is like the announcement video of the tournament that I'm playing in that has Pablo in it, which is why we're doing this whole stream to tune the deck. But check this out. Check this. It's pretty cool.
Greater Fist is going out for the block, which is going to stop the 2 damage off the blue Spellblade Assault.
What if we gathered 16 of the world's best Flesh and Blood players and put them head to head?
Belittle, creating a rune chant, attacking with overload, and that's game!
Matthew Folks is your second Pro Tour champion.
16 of the world's toughest Flesh and Blood players duke it out for a $2,000 prize pool. All the action starts October 14th with a Friday night kickoff. Join Mitch Leslie, Ten and Grace, and Matt DeMarco for a Flesh and Blood event like no other.
All right, that's the announcement video. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. There are people who played their match already. Is that who you're talking about? Because there are some people in this event who played their match already. Pablo and I have ours scheduled for tomorrow. Oh no, Josh, I'm just not following. I'm not following because I've got things to pay attention to outside of the chat. Apologies. Yeah, so this is the Goliath Gauntlet where I will be playing against Pro Tour winner, Pro Tour top 8, Pablo Pintor tomorrow. It's why we're stressing like mad. because we know he's on some version of Runeblade. I don't know what Runeblade. And we need to actually have 80 cards. We're at 79 cards. And I'm not even convinced all these are the right cards, but that's the goal. That's the goal of the stream, is we need to get there. We need to get to that 80. And we're just going to keep playing games until we start hating cards in our deck. Because then we'll know what to change. 1, 2, 3. This is fine. No edits. We just outdamage her. Toss in some That All You Got. I already have the That All You Got. That really is for the Fi matchup. I mean, I've been beating Fis without it. Without seeing it, rather. But knowing that it's in the deck definitely feels good. I love that it's a yellow, because this deck is actually built to handle like a yellow cost curve really well. So, yeah, card is definitely going to be helpful there. Definitely going to be helpful there. The scientific method of salt. Yes, exactly. When you lose and you start blaming cards, you just cut those cards. That's how it works. That is scientific. But if you just don't lose, how do you know? And so far, we just don't lose. We're 3-0. And we played against Fi, Viserai, and Dromai. And only one of those is like a free matchup, Dromai. So. It's okay, Sat. I know you got a lot going on. A lot going on screen. A lot going on in my scrambled head. Yeah. We're just waiting on the Dorinthea to go ahead and click start. That's what we need to focus on right now. Oh yeah, we were looking up Pablo in L5R. We can close that. Okay, they chose to go first. Interesting. We actually very much appreciate this, if he just arsenals. Looks like he's not going to arsenal. So I guess we'll go ahead and block 6. It's all we can do with this hand, and we appreciate that. Some graveyard fill. Why not? Check out the link I sent you a while ago. Where? Facebook? Or Discord? Oh, it was on Facebook, wasn't it? I remember that message. Let me find it. Also, let me turn this back on. The background music. Marios. I don't see a link. You said hello. You did not send a link. Oh, link here. You sent a link here? I don't think you're allowed to send links, so it probably doesn't display for me. I don't see one, at least. You only can send a link if you're a moderator, which honestly, I can make you a moderator. You're all good. There you go. Now you can drop a link. Alright, man, he's going for it. He is committed to landing that damage, which, to be fair, Oh, he didn't swing. Okay. Does it really matter, Pulping versus Wild Ride? I guess it does matter if that's a defense react, which I do highly doubt, to be fair. So we'll go ahead and lead with that. So it'll just be a 9 damage turn, Arsenal Pulping. That sounds fine. Oh, you just sent it on Facebook. Okay. Ah, interesting. Hatamoto. Oh, yes, I see. Check this out. This is for L5R. L5R, the Hatamoto status, like where if you were the best in a faction. Oh, that's not Pablo Pintor. Alright, hold on, we'll look at that in a second. Oh my god. The man is committed to blocking with equipment. He does not want a single damage to land. I don't know why you would make that cognizant choice, good friend, but you did. You did choose that. Search familiar fab players. Alright, let's see Pablo Pintor. Ah, he is here. Look at this. On Crab, whatever Crab is. An accomplished L5R player, eh? I believe it. You also said, who was the other name? We'll check in a second. Okay, pass, Arsenal. Okay. Not the most exciting hand, but it's a pulping playable hand for sure. For sure. We'll just end up blocking with Dread, I guess. We don't want to block, but we should block. This hand doesn't reveal to Rouse. These are both yellows, unfortunately. Otherwise, that'd be one route to go about it. Rouse into just Hunger Slaughter Beast for 13 damage. Would have been cool. 14 damage, rather. We can't do it. So... Did he play, like a Go Again enabler? He didn't, right? Okay. So, I mean, commit like a Glistening or a Run-Through. That's fine with me. Or Refraction Bolters, I guess. Or not. Or just pump it tall. We'll see. It is hard to gauge how good your opponent is on Talishar. That is definitely an issue. I never know, because I don't want to assume most players are new. Okay, CNC, that's fine. I don't want to assume most players are new, but sometimes they make plays that are questionable. Like sacking Refraction after you blocked with all your equipment, but not Refraction. You then break Refraction. Okay. Well, he can't pump it, so we could also just take a slow turn here and just kind of play out a Hungering for 6. Or we can force our hand with Crown. I don't love that, because Pulping's actually like a pretty darn good card. And Crown could block something relevant with Dawnblade, so I think we will just give it to him. We'll just block 6. That's fine with me. Crab was like playing Oldhim, defensive, controlled, and patient. Ooh. Did Crab have to sit sideways? I'm sitting like a crab right now. Damn, Dory, chill! Yeah, that's the feel. Purple don't chill. He plays Dory full aggro, apparently. Alright, this hand almost reveals to Rouse. We're missing the blue. But this is definitely a pulping playable hand, so... considering that our banished hit no Blood Debt cards, we're pretty happy with that, because we had a bunch of Blood Debt in here. So now we can pretty safely go for a pulping turn, regardless of whether we turn off Blood Debt or not, so that's fine. I mean, you won't have fun, but I'll definitely have fun. Blocking becomes a game in and of itself. Just because you don't doesn't mean that ain't fun for me. Oh yeah, actually, I was playing Oldhim for a good stint, and I really enjoyed blocking, like a lot. Because your opponent gets so frustrated by it, where they're like, well, what the hell, I'm spending good cards, and you're blocking with, like, any card, and it's worth, you know, that same defensive value for the most part. And it can get frustrating, and then bad players just don't beat you, which is a nice start. And then even good players have to spend a lot of effort to overcome that, especially if you're smart with your blocks and, you know, leading into disruption, which Oldhim obviously has a lot of tools of tools for defensively. And then I took that strategy and put it in Levia with like the control Levia, and good God, it was so much fun, because control Levia was way harder to play than Oldhim, way harder, because it wasn't built. It's not a deck that was built to be that defensive, but you could play it that defensive, and it was very frustrating for opponents to play into. I absolutely loved it. Okay, so it doesn't have Go Again. We can lose the Husk because he did commit a Glistening and a Supremacy, but it means we need to block 8. If we're blocking 8, we can go ahead and do it this way. I mean, the Blowout is like a twinning from Arsenal, I guess? No, because it doesn't... yeah, it has Go Again. So the Blowout would be like a twinning from Arsenal, or even a twinning from hand because he Courageous. Alright, we are going to let this happen. No reprise on this. No reprise. I'm lost finding a new main at the moment since Prism got LL. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because a lot of Prism players moved on to Dromai, and she doesn't quite scratch that same itch. Like, oh, it is a twinning. Well, that's unfortunate. It doesn't quite scratch that same itch, because the other weird part about Dromai is she's missing like that one big interaction point, like Arclight Sentinel. I mean, that was the big deal with Prism. Is that against any matchup, you had the Feels Bad Moments line up with Arclight that Dromai just doesn't have. Okay, so we can go ahead. Honestly, we can let this hit. It's not the biggest deal. It's really not the biggest deal. It doesn't have Go Again, so his turn's just going to be over. He draws a card, he gets a counter. I don't really care, honestly. He sacked so much. He sacked so much for this. And our hand doesn't really scale down amazingly. Just because the pulping is going to be a random discard, so we'd love to think like, oh, we're going to pulping, then be able to Savage Feast after it and yada yada, but we just don't know. We just don't quite know, so we should be fine to take this. Yep. Alright, we're going to take 5. It's all good. Gets a counter. I was playing aggro since the game started. I'm playing Iyslander now for the past week, and I feel like I'm learning the game all over again. Oh, yeah. Man, the streams that I've been trying to play Iyslander blow my mind. Oh. Do we like what happened there? I guess we do. We fit in a Claw Swing into Savage Feast Arsenal reset. That's one way to do it. So I guess we don't hate that. We can't hate that. I mean, that's a 15 damage turn with Arsenal reset, so should be fine. Yuki said it's pretty much it's said it best, pretty much like Prism and Lexi. She said Iyslander is like Prism and Lexi combined. Is that what you mean? That's an interesting combination of heroes to categorize Iyslander as. Okay. Okay. So we could actually get pretty greedy and roll scabs. But, oh, no, we don't have gamblers, so we're not going to do that. Yeah, there's no reason to play it that greedy. Not that greedy. Yeah, Vasily. Oh yeah, sure. Vasily. Let's also give him a look. Vasily from Athens. Sure thing. Playing Phoenix. That sounds like an aggro deck. That definitely sounds like an aggro deck. Combined. Interesting. So, Prism and Lexi. Prism because of the interactive board states, the instant speed. Lexi because of the constant minimal disruption, and the weird allotments of damage. I can see that. Alright, well, this card is definitely getting cycled out with Crown, but, you know, it's still a 15 damage turn. So, we're not going to be upset about it, because we still haven't played any Blood Rush or any Art of War. So, we have one more turn with Armor to kind of, like, reset into our big turn, and then we'll just be pushing enough to end the game. That'll just be what happens. This hand won't do it. This hand's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Crown could dig it pretty significantly. There's a lot that could unlock this. It's another glistening. Okay. Phoenix are the best spellcasters of the setting. Interesting. Spellcasters. Does that mean were they mid-range? Was what Phoenix was about? Interesting. Well, I guess I'm tinted now by Phoenix Flame. Aggression, you know? 7. Well, can we really afford to block 10? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 armor. We'd have to sack 2 cards for it to kind of reset them, and then we'd still swing big into them. I think I'm totally fine to do that. I'd rather keep... It doesn't super matter, right? I guess I'll block here, and then we will cycle out the Wrecker. No, actually, I don't want to block with Beast Within, because there is the off chance we draw Blood Rush, and like that's minorly playable, if that's how we do it. So we'll let it go this way. We'll cycle out the Arsenal. Not bad, not bad. We didn't have a blue, otherwise obviously would have kept towards that being the case. But this is still fine. We swing 8. We only have 1 blood debt. We Arsenal on this mob. Totally fine. Totally fine. You want to stay mod, Mario? So you're going to help me ban these bots that pop up every once in a while? I have like 1 moderator, I think, but he doesn't come in for the late streams because he works weird hours. Thank you. Cool. Thank you, Marios. I owe Greek people a lot. You guys saved me when I had probably the worst travel experience medically of my life when I went to Athens. That's a fun story. I'm gonna need like a cup of water to share that story. Mouth's getting dry. Saving me again. Look at you. Okay, we come in for 8. Not a big deal. When are you coming to Athens again? Is that something that would ever realistically come up? Probably not. I am very fortunate to have traveled a lot. I come from like a very international family to begin with, and I also studied abroad and took a gap year and did a lot to travel. And I'm kind of in that rhythm of I don't like visiting the same place twice. I'd rather go, you know, kind of keep it going. Visit the next spot, next spot, next spot. And I went to Athens recently, last Christmas, so I think we won't go back for a good bit. Won't be going back for a good bit. Hon, can I have some water, please? Thank you. You guys see Woman Sant? She's a lifesaver. Okay, he came in for 8. What happened? It's another Steel Blade Supremacy. This dude is actually throwing, like, the on-hits. The big amounts of on-hits. We can block 9. We could block 9 and kind of force... But ugh, I don't know. That's the best we could do, though. I don't love it. I don't love it, because I would rather just kind of string the Dread Screamer turn into the Endless turn. So then what do we do with the Beast Within? We just kind of, like, chump it. That's not a great feeling. So I think we might just let this... hit. Oof. Yeah, I think we are going to let this one hit. It's bad. It is bad. But our hand doesn't really block in any other way. We couldn't even just commit the whole hand to defense because of the eye anyway. Woman Sant the Hydrator. Here we go. No Cipoto for you then. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a food, and it sounds probably delicious. Alright. Okay. Let me get through this turn, because there will be a couple things to think about. And then I can tell the Grease story. I wish I could change the background. The backgrounds are not... They're not great. What are they? Normal mode. Dark mode is this, which honestly hurts my eyes. And then, like, the plain mode also just does nothing for me. That's so boring. So we'll keep it like this, but I would prefer, like, a nourishing or something. Like a more generic art. Oh, Jesus. No. Come on, go back to normal mode. Thank you. Okay, Dawnblade now comes in for 6. This is actually totally fine. The way he pitched for that. Let's see where we're at. Misses-wise, we have 1 miss, 2 miss. I kind of am inclined to block this way, but if I block this way, leave the Dread Screamer in Arsenal, that's a guaranteed way to turn off Blood Debt. It's a guaranteed way to have a go again, even though it's blue. I think I'm fine with that, just because I could totally lose the game on hitting the exact 3. Alright, he goes over, it's fine. We weren't going to block 3 over on that. If he has it, he has it. No biggie. Okay. This is good to know. I think we'll go ahead and keep both of these, because if he gets greedy about it, we just win with Reckless anyway. And if not, we definitely will be able to keep enough pressure for a Blood Rush turn. So those are pretty good cards to have on top. Pretty good cards. Pass. Alright, so he won't go low enough for Reckless. That's fine, because the choices were either keep it on top or bottom anyway. And bottom means we wouldn't have seen it at all when it's relevant, so this is fine. Arsenal. Oop, that leaves a lot to be desired, not gonna lie. We're not gonna block anything he does this turn, because we're definitely gonna present way over lethal, and he has no armor blocks, so weapon be a weapon. I don't care what you hit me with. It'll be fine. Oh, maybe it's not true to think of it that way exactly. Because there is a way here I lose, right? Where if it's a... No, because even if it's a double pump, it doesn't matter. Because it'd be coming in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He wouldn't pay for the next one. So I can't die. Yeah, I can't die from his hand like this. That's fine. Dark Plane mode is the most pog mode. Ew. Hard disagree. Wait, did we even look at that one, though? Actually, hold on a second. Dark Plane mode. Huh. That's not so bad, actually. It's not awful. I mean, this is like... This gets pretty dark, right? Like, you don't even see the Banished Zone or anything. That's not awful. But we'll go back to the normal one. There's more to look at. End of turn? Okay, what even happened? What did he do? Okay, he played that and I didn't even block, so there's no reprise. He played it for a +1. It's not right, dude. It's not right. Okay, actually, let's think on this 1 second. So, what we can do with this hand is lead with the Art of War, banish, obviously, say +1, because we have Dread out at least. See where the turn takes us. We also could lead with Dread, Boneyard, Arsenal. That's not, no, it's definitely better to go this route. We'll say buff, banish. Get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. At this point, we could go for the Blood Rush. We could go for the Blood Rush here. Because otherwise, the damage we're presenting is just 5, 7. So that's going to be 12. 12, no block left. You'd have to block with 3 real cards then. But he still has the counter. I think we are fine to try on the Blood Rush. Okay, yep, we like that. We like that a lot. We're not going to complain about that. Not going to complain about that at all. Did we even look at it? Not awful. No, like legitimately, the gradient isn't so scary. That's what terrifies me about the plane mode, is this is just like awful. I don't love this being the focal point, like 0%. If anything, make it like linear, top and bottom. It just makes no sense. It is not nearly as bad on this one. Normal mode. Alright, he's blocking, yes, yes, yes. Now the problem is there are 1, 2, 3, 4 misses, so we don't want to just punt the game. Well, Blood Debt's already off, but, you know, if we try to get greedy with, like, Dread to then have even more damage off Graveling, it's not worth it. We still just win on the Claw. What am I saying? What? Stop overthinking. Let's just get this win. Jesus. Let's just get the win. My God, calm down. Sheesh. Yeah, okay. I mean, we do just win. Alright. Here we go. 9. What you gonna do, buddy? GG's. Alright, that is a 4-0 so far. And the games are fast, and unfortunately, not the highest of qualities. But that is a GG. Alright. Oh, 1 second stretch break. What does this mean? What have we learned? What have we learned after 4 games? What do we miss? We don't miss anything. We like the deck is the problem. We like the deck too much. There's not like a single thing I care about touching. The one card that honestly feels very lackluster is Savage Feast, but that's really because I prefer on some matchups to take Skull Crushers legitimately just for the block, which we saw like against Phi, we saw against Dorinthea, even Null Rune against Viserai, and if that's the case, then Savage Feast is not nearly as playable. This card is much better if you have Gambler's Gloves, because basically every time you see it, you can try to just pop off that way. The other times it comes up are more slim, but it really is like after a pulping off a blue, it's just an extra 6 you throw in. It can work with Art of War, but you know, it's something you draw into off of Art of War, not necessarily have in hand. This card's like the lackluster card with how I use the glove slot. But hey, if you take Gamblers every game, it gets better, but we're also 4-0 by not taking Gamblers every game, so there's that. There is that, right? Alright, maybe let's just keep going until we take the loss. Alright, this guy said no Azaleas. We're gonna hit him with the Levia. Oh, never mind. Oldhim. Okay, this is fine. Hi. Good luck. Alright, this is good. This will actually be a stress test matchup, because we'll see, hopefully, like, most of our deck, right? We will see most of our deck. And we'll actually need to pay attention to the pitch stack a little bit. Let's go 4-0. Yeah. Yeah, the turn 2 Greaves break. God. Don't remind me. Also without using the Battle Worn. And just to throw a CNC when I had Crown up. Alright, Dorinthea, you're on another level. You still can't see the deep-rooted evil people being in the tree's mouth? Wait, what? In the tree's mouth? Let's blow this up. Deep-rooted evil. I never noticed the tree had a mouth. Is the tree actually... Is the tree a monster? I kind of thought of it as like these guys are just like summoning, you know, like the realm of Blasmafet, you know, and this is like similar to Stranger Things. Like it's kind of just growing. I don't know, I don't really see the mouth. Who cares about blocking? Yeah, not me. Not me, dude. Alright, well, this hand doesn't do anything. Comes in for 8, which is nice, but it doesn't do more than that. I can't complain about at least throwing 8, right? It could be an unplayable hand. I have an issue with you not taking cards out when you sideboard in. No, me too. That's not my call, though. I always run at 60. I'm a huge fan of if you haven't figured out the 60 cards you want, then you probably just haven't played your list enough. You haven't tuned to like the exact 60 you want. And so in experimenting, like sure, you can run above 60, but in a tournament, I would run at 60. Like legitimately, you should just be doing that. However, in listening to Vasily says, in this matchup specifically against Oldhim, he is adding straight 4 cards. He's adding, well, he actually goes to 66 cards. I'm not doing that. I'm not that crazy. But he adds the 3 Dread Screamer and the 1 Deep-Rooted because it is its own package that you are adding to the deck. And I mean, it's a good package. It's like late game assurance where you get to just Dread Screamer, 2 blues, plus another card. You're impervious to a Frostbite, you're impervious to Ice React, and you still can swing 11, an extra 3 times, which is, I mean, that is relevant. It is. Okay. Okay, the weird part is, though, I can't swing the Endless Maw. Because I don't have enough graveyard. Well, that's a little rough. What do I do? Is this legitimately a claw turn? Good God. That sounds awful. That sounds really awful. Even losing a Soul Harvest... no, we can lose a Soul Harvest with this deck. It's not the most relevant. Alright, I mean, we could pitch both of these in for Endless Maw. I don't want to do it. So I think we'll just do this. Very slow start. Slow start, but we have landed 5 damage. I mean, nothing we really need to rush in this matchup. Oldhim took 5 damage on turn 0. No, it wasn't turn 0. He went first and arsenaled. He was keeping that hand so he could swing in Channel Lake. Okay, we can go ahead and do this. Just because it's a Tunic Pummel. Turn, we don't want to interact with that. Man, this is rough again. We're clumping blues really hard. Clumping a lot of blues. And this deck is actually not that saturated with blues. Okay. Very rough. Very rough. We're going to look to try to just arsenal the Blood Rush then, if this is how the turn plays. He does pummel. Okay, so him pummeling means we actually could... there he goes. Him pummeling means we actually could make this a Blood Rush turn if we really want. I'm not like super keen to do it. I think we're totally fine to just make this a Graveling Growl Dread Screamer turn. Yep, that's fine. It's only a blue pummel too. Not the most amount of damage. Sure. We'll just toss this his way. No Blood Dead on that. We only had the 1 Blood Dead anyway. Is there a matchup sheet for the Goliath Gauntlet tomorrow? I can try to find it. I don't know why they're so hesitant to just like drop tons of info on this. Because it's like pretty damn exciting. Let me find the bracket. Let's find it. Where did they post it? Alright. Maybe it's not as easy to find as I thought. I don't see it. How did I first see I was playing Pablo? The Goliath Gauntlet. Maybe it's linked in here. Oops, let me take this off screen. Oh, here it is. Here's the bracket. Actually, like, pretty stacked list. Hold on, we'll take a look at that in a second. Alright, he blocks 4. It's fine. Does he react? Hey, how are you Hey, how are you? So I'm thinking about getting to Flesh and Blood. Any tips you can give me for like starting out? Jeremy Maguire. Yes. There's a lot of very helpful resources out there for getting into the game. If you join the Facebook groups, there's a Facebook page called Flesh and Blood fan page that is actually pretty darn helpful. There's some trolls on there. It's the internet's whatever. But there's some very helpful people on there into building communities up, like getting you started with easy to build decks. There's this guy, Joey Seinart in particular, who built this entire like deck builder's toolkit to build a starter deck of every single hero in the game. And he updates it currently, like for every new set too. So I would, if you're a new player, definitely like ask, to be hooked up with something like that. And his name always gets dropped. He always drops the link. I don't have the link exactly myself. Otherwise I would, shortcut that for you for sure. But that's one really easy way. The next best thing to do to get into the game is just go to fabtcg.com. And if you look at events and events locator, you can put in where you live, like literally your address, right? So we'll do like Geneva. Oops, that's Lyons, New York. It's not Geneva. Geneva. Here you go. You can search, and based on where you live, it will show you how far away and how many days away there are armory events or other kinds of events. And so you can always show up. You can always show up and just at least meet your local community. Just give them a look, see what they're up to. And those people should be helpful. They should be. They might not be, but they should be. We're going to take this. It's a frostbite. We don't super care. We're going to just hit Beast Within, right? Hey, we did. We did hit Beast Within. We're good players. We like that a lot. We became impervious to the Ice React and the Frostbite all in one. All in one because we're good at the game. So I would check those two things first. Deck building, go to the Facebook fan page. Events, use this. There are some decent like getting into the game type videos on YouTube. I personally can't really think of one right off the top because I was just indoctrinated through my local play group. We'll do that. Yep. So I'm not sure of a particular one that super stands out, but I know Tolarian Community College did a starter game, like a getting into the game type of episode or YouTube video, that kind of thing. Oh wait, oops. Hold on a second. We can get super greedy, right? We could roll Gambler's Gloves, or we could roll Scabskins rather, and see if we draw playables. That is so unbelievably greedy. I'm kind of here for it though. Nope, we rolled a 3. Okay, so in that case, we don't really want to take the extra damage from Beast Within, so we can go ahead and just play the Savage Feast out this way, and Arsenal Arouse. We like that. We like that a lot. We would have lost this actually to the Beast Within trigger, so we are happy to do it that way, for sure. A UK content creator made an introduction vid this week. It's pretty good. All right, thank you. I've been watching videos for a while. Just play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, so I'd like to give it a try. I came from this game from not even a real card game background. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I played X-Wing, which is an amazing miniatures game. And then I played Pokemon a little bit. But I fell in love with this game. As not even a real card game player, this game has so much theme behind it, so much love and passion in why it even exists in the first place, that if you can kind of get on board that entire message, this idea of proudly designed in New Zealand, taking on the giants, proving that, with 7 years of hardworking game design, you can launch a game and have it stick and be successful and have people love it and launch a competitive circuit and let you travel the world. I mean, the game came out the gates flying, It was amazing. It was amazing. It launched with the competitive circuit. They just recently listened to community feedback and changed the way product releases work. They changed how First Edition and Unlimited works now. It's all just one wave. People loved that. And they're a great force behind Flesh and Blood, Legend Story Studios. I do love it. I do love it. Of course, I'm heavily biased because, I have now been in the game long enough that I have worked with them multiple times now, and they are just lovely every time it's happened. So most of the time you can actually see all your cards put into your deck. No more third, fourth turn GG. Oh, it definitely happens, but it doesn't have to happen. It's really up to you, right? It's up to you to make the game short or long. You always have that agency to say, all right, my hand deals X amount of damage, or I can use it to save X amount of life to build into my next turn. My next turn, the cards I'm looking for, the arsenal I want, yada yada yada. What's this guy waiting on, by the way? I feel like are we bugged? Lag? Now, granted, Jesus, what was that? I think it just froze, honestly. It sometimes does that if you don't type, it'll freeze. Alright, so we just pitched a rouse before, so now we want to put this down there, an arsenal rouse, and we will play that eventually. Not necessarily this turn. Not necessarily this turn. Once again... It's a frostbite. It's also a cold snap, which is a very odd card for the Oldhim to be running. If we just pretend that he doesn't ice react us, we can hold this hand to just swing 11. If he ice reacts us, obviously it hurts quite a bit. It does. Yeah, but blocking doesn't really scale this hand any better, so I think we're fine to take it. He can also block with Stalagmite, and we do get a little stuck as well, but not the biggest deal. Not the biggest deal. If he Stalagmites, then we can still claw at least, so that's damage. It is damage. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a real game in the sense that only thing you compete for is clout. Oh, that's a funny way to put it. I love that, actually. That's a good way to put it. You're not really competing for... Yeah, I mean, like, to be the best, you just need the game knowledge, right? You need to just not have to read every single card that's played. And that would take ages anyway, in the middle of a tournament. You're competing because you just want to win. I mean, I guess that's true for most things, though, right? You're competing because you do want to win. We can lose the rouse. I just hate taking this damage over and over. But it's probably another pummel CNC, so us blocking is not even worth it. If that really is a pummel that he's been sitting on, okay, it's not. That's fine. He crowns away and resets Arsenal. Okay. I don't really want to force the Blood Rush on this. That feels really, really bad. But in a way, we know for sure that we'll at least be able to claw Boneyard, which is not the worst. We've been taking a lot of damage, so we can't just have a 6 damage turn, or things will start to slip away. Oh yeah, we could also discard the Boneyard. Honestly, didn't even think about it that sense, but yes. That is also a possibility, right? Oops. Yeah, that was definitely the worst timeline. We wanted to keep the Boneyard, so that just wouldn't have been right. It would have been just a throw 6, Arsenal Blood Rush. Commit Husk, I guess. We just haven't had anything too impressive. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see a bit on whether he wants to Ice React or not. If he does, our turn is just 10 damage. We take 1 to Blood Debt, which is not great, but at least it's 10 damage compared to 6. If he Stalagmites, we can still just swing Claw as well. Actually no, we should probably commit to the Wild Ride, just because we don't get the Arsenal out of it, but if we swing Claw, and he sees that's pretty much the last thing we do, he can just Ice React, and then we don't get our Arsenal anyway. So we can push the 8 here. Don't hate it. I don't hate it. Don't know. I feel like if he was going to Ice React, he probably would have done it first. But if he was contemplating the Ice React, it was like definitely worth him doing it once he saw how we pitched on that second Claw. So this feels a slightly bit better. Imagine having to memorize the poorly worded novels that are modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's crazy. When I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I quit pretty much right around when Pendulums came out. There was that archetype called Cleeforts, or Clees, whatever people called them. And, I mean, to be fair, like, all of the Pendulum stuff was ridiculous, but seeing it for the first time was just wild. Like, man, it was just not okay. Like, they did not need to do that with the game at all. This is awful. This is really awful. This is one of those no correct option type of hands. We don't want to arsenal either the Reckless or the Eye. Jesus. Huh. Yeah, this kind of just like is not coming together. Our hands just are not, they're just not threatening. We just don't deal damage. Alright, well. It really is unplayable to arsenal either one of these. So then, what are we really doing? Just like taking the damage? Oh god, that's just so bad. Alright, like in the best case scenario, and we might just have to do it because we need to play a little greedy, we could Reckless Swing, discard the Graveling Growl, that'd be best case. If we discard the Eye, that's still okay. But okay, that was best case. That was best case. We're happy with that. We're happy with that. Alright, and then we can also go ahead and roll Scabs for an extra claw swing here. It's not amazing, but if we eke out the damage, that sounds good to me. We did hit the 5, which is nice. Now we go this way. Bottom both of these, we need our power cards, which at this point is just one more Blood Rush. And to do, what, 2 Art of Wars as well? No, all 3 Art of Wars. Thing is, though, for us to buy ourselves back into a proper arsenal, we need to find Endless Maw, which we haven't played out yet, so those are hopefully in the deck as well, because those are the hands that will buy us room to arsenal, which is really what we need for that last Blood Rush to be threatening. Alright, Claw. How is Levia into Iyslander? Should be a pretty easy matchup. It's an interesting matchup. It tends to be pretty easy, because you basically say, if you play into any of your discard... Oh, well, we found Endless Maw, but we didn't find the blue. That's fantastic. Love when that happens. So in that case, we basically just do this, take 1, play Boneyard through the Frostbite. Arsenal Endless Maw? God, that's so bad. That's what we do, though. That's what we do, though. Yeah, you're basically telling Iyslander, if you play into any of your discard effects that your deck is, you know, chock full of, you're actually helping, because Levia can struggle to fill her graveyard, traditionally, into that kind of matchup. Now, there's ways around it. You can play your recursion pieces, you can play like your Shadow Blasphemfets, your Howl from Beyonds. That can be a huge help. This version of Levia actually shrugs off having to block pretty well, because you've got like your graveyard fill that's very aggressively oriented as well in Pulping and Wild Ride. So Iyslander tends to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, if they don't help you with discard, you can punish that. If they do help you with discard, cool. Then you don't need to worry so much about playing out so many of your aggressive pieces. Holy crap. We're literally... Every single CNC has lined up exactly on his Tunic 3. Exactly on his Tunic 3. His first CNC, Tunic 3. Second CNC, Tunic 3. Third CNC, exactly on Tunic 3. Holy crap. And it's definitely a pummel too. Like, it just always is. It just always is, because otherwise he would have ice reacted. He's keeping this because he wants to play out the pummel and then arsenal a card. So it is a pummel. Very annoying. If we really want to play around it then, and basically tell him that he no longer gets to CNC anymore, we would Husk plus a card and Scabs. That is one way to do it. I don't hate that. Going about it this way, it feels awful to commit this much block to it. Let's see, if he does pummel CNC, the problem is our turn just falls so flat. We need the Endless Maw right now. I think I'm just gonna unfortunately leave it like this. Very, very rough. But we do need the Endless Maw. It's our only high damage hand in that position. The Pummel CNC still would have demanded Husk. We would have lost a card, lost Arsenal. And then our hand would be 3 cards, which we'd have to turn off Blood Debt still, which would have been like a Dread Screamer for 5, and then pass. Rough. Alright, so it was a blue Pummel, it looks like. And the blue Pummel is a bit unfortunate, because then we didn't have to commit everything. We just didn't have to. This is fine, though. He's taking a reset turn. Good for us, because now we do have another good card for our final Blood Rush, if we find it. We can play through the Frostbite here. Yep, we can play through it. Alright, we can go this way. And then just lead in with one of these guys and throw another card in Arsenal, have an 11 damage turn. Not fantastic. Oh, look at all these Gravelings. Tons of them. God, you love Clash. It's good to hear. If you weren't, I think you were here, you asked me about it to begin with. Yeah, Clash last night was really fun. My friends did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. Deck building for it felt awesome too. Okay, we like discarding that. We'd rather Arsenal the Wild Ride as well. This worked out. This did work out. I don't really see us buying ourselves back into the game because we haven't put on the pressure to the point where he can't just like keep an Old hand, because that will always lose us the game, right? Like that's just what Oldhim can do. So we need to be in a spot here. Yep, the ice reacts. We need to be in a spot here where he doesn't get to keep an Old hand anymore. And it's harder for him to do that now because Pulse is gone. Oh my god, what is with the hand? How is this real? How? You're telling me I can't just block with one of these and this and actually have like a... Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. This is very bad. So our two options would be take the 4, throw the entire hand for 9. Horrible, but it is one option. Option number 2 being we block Endless, Scabs, pitch for Art of War, draw 2, say +1, whatever, and hope we have even one playable thing. We save 4 life, we lose this hand, we definitely don't get an Arsenal. Compared to throw... That actually, unfortunately, is better. That actually is better. Because we're looking to maybe throw like 7 plus save our life. And if it's not a good hand, we can just claw Arsenal, which isn't great, but maybe he can't play that out. Oy, oy, oy. Compared to keep this entire thing, take 4, throw 9. Yeah, well, all these options suck, but... we'd rather keep the Wild Ride in the deck. We'll say buff and banish. Okay, so we could throw 7, or we could claw, try to Arsenal. There's no way he gives us the Arsenal, though. So we'll just throw the 7, I guess. So unfortunate with that hand. Even one more resource here is a claw for a 10 damage turn. Very, very rough. This is going into his Tunic 3. We don't have an Arsenal anymore to build into our last Blood Rush push. This is so bad. So bad. I wonder how different it would have been if we just, like, found Deep-Rooted Evil. If we found Deep-Rooted Evil early, and we're just able to get it out, because the turn we found it, it had to be our pitch card. I don't know how different things would have been. I feel like the way we clumped our blues was more of the issue than anything. We drew like 6 blues on turn 1 and 2. Very strange. Alright, let's see it. Tunic. Tunic what? Tunic Chokeslam. Can't gain attack? I mean, is that... Do we care? I don't think we care. I don't think we really care. What we care about is the damage more than anything, but I don't think we can care about the damage. We want to, but we can't. It's just not the spot we're in. Alright, it's fine. It's not a bloater's turn. I'll take it. You can't pummel me. I'll take it. Alright. The real Hail Mary is we discard the Beast Within, so we're in the Hail Mary type of position, so we do have to do it. Let's see it. If it's not, the game's over anyway. Like, if we just go for a Dread Screamer... Okay, we did discard it. Nice, nice. If we just went for, like, Dread Screamer into his Ice React Claw, like 9 damage turn, no chance to reset Arsenal, would have just been over. So, we do have to play it this way. Interesting, this is a lot of go again. We're short the one more blue to make it good enough. All we really want to do is reset Arsenal. Blood Debt's already off, so we can throw 6 just by going Claw Claw. Or we can throw 6 with potential Dominate by playing this out, but then we don't know what our Arsenal is. So I think because we want our Arsenal to be the Dread Screamer, we can go this route. We would prefer that over anything else. Now the choice becomes, do we walk into his Ice React by this Claw, or do we just throw out the Pulping and say forget it? I think we just have to hope he doesn't have the Ice card. I don't know why else he's keeping these 2, because it can no longer be Pulse, right? So he wouldn't be keeping, like, Pulse, Oaken, Blue. Like, that just can't beat the 3 cards anymore. It's not a pummel turn, so it probably is an Ice card. He blocked happily with those. I think we do just have to pretend. We're just going to pretend it's not an Ice card. We're in the pretend state. Is this Pablo? No, Pablo's tomorrow. Alright, nice. We do get this Arsenal. Oh, this. Okay. Alright, it's no longer Fused Oaken. It's just an Oaken. We set up our Arsenal. We have our Blood Rush that we knew was coming. The issue is, though, this is too much damage. That just is a little bit too much damage. We can't take 4. So that fell apart a little bit, didn't it? That's not so good. That's not so good. So unfortunately what that means we have to do is block like this so that we can guarantee Dread over Pitch to be a 9 damage turn. That's pretty much all we got. We don't have a true shot back in. But that is all we got. Okay. 9 damage. Is there a particular reason to keep breaking the chain? We're not breaking the chain. I think visually what you're seeing is that in Talishar, it doesn't show you the individual chain links. They just get condensed to this little bar, which you'll see right here. So once this hits the chain. So we didn't close the chain. This is the first link. It's just not shown. Now you can close the chain in Levia quite often. It can be beneficial if you need to fill your graveyard in a certain way. Like if you only have 2 cards in graveyard, and then you need to fill it with something that's on the table. Okay, it's just to dominate. So we do just lose. We can play Plasma Fet though, and have fun with it. Yep, GG. GG's. Yeah, this was the problem. Look at this. Average damage per turn was awful this game. Really, really bad. Like, if it can't be 12, we want it to at least be 9. And it was not even 9. We had a lot of problems drawing damage that game, especially the early turns. Especially the early turns. I wonder if Bearfangs would be better than Wild Ride? No. No. In, like, a mid-range Levia, Bearfangs is actually quite better. Because in a mid-range Levia, you do want to block down, and you're running, like, Unworldlies, which is an amazing card next to a Bearfangs anyway. Like, a deck like this would more like Bearfangs. But even then, you actually would prefer to just run Deadwood Rumbler for the most part over what Bearfangs is doing. Because Deadwood Rumbler is always an 8 with a little bit of an upside in this meta because it can target Fi. But if you're running this amount of Unworldly Bellows, yes, Bare Fangs also could take that slot. I just think Deadwood's like a little bit better right now. But this deck, like full aggro Levia, is really trying to not block and make every hand deal 12 damage minimum. And the only way you do that is by jamming every bit of Go Again Brute has into a deck. That's how you hit 12 a turn. So 8 that a Bare Fangs could do is not 12. And it doesn't have Go Again. So it wouldn't really do what this deck is trying to do at all, unfortunately. It would work if you like roll Gamblers every time and Gamblers hits, but we're not trying to do that. We are not actually trying to roll Gamblers every turn, because that gives you a loss condition every time you roll Gamblers, being a 1 into a 1. So, not the goal. Interesting. So with that game, though, the one thing that would have come up, honestly, the one card that actually I think could have made the difference is adding a Shadow of Blasphemous. Even as a 1-of, it feels weird, but if Deep-Rooted Evil is a yellow, the first time you see it, you might as well use it as like a pitch card, which is what we had to do in that sense. We had to use it to pay for a Boneyard, that when we had a Frostbite. But by adding one Shadow Blast Effect when you're playing through your entire cycle of the deck, you will see this card, and you will play this card, and it will most likely hit, because you're in like a 46 6-count deck. And then you know you're pulling Deep-Rooted Evil. That's actually quite good as a 1-of. So that does bring us to the 80. I'm kind of a fan. I am kind of a fan of that, because you know you'll turn off Blood Debt. One of the problems with this card, if you run 3 of, in like a mid-range Levia, is you want to pull your Howls. The problem is Howl doesn't turn off Blood Debt because it's not a 6. So then you need to have turned off Blood Debt some other way, like with an Unworldly first, or with an Art of War, or a Dread Screamer. But if you know the only target you're pulling is Deep-Rooted, that's actually pretty big for the deck. So I think that'll be the last card. I like that. I like that a lot. Main menu puts us at 4-1. Alright, cool. Good. We have picked a card to at least put us at 80. Now it's time to look at if anything else changes. Alright, why does it say 69? It should say 68. What's going on? What's bugged out here? Wait, what is this list? This is... Oh, this is the old list. Oh, oops. Sorry, wrong deck. Oops, this is actually the wrong deck list. Why did that load incorrectly? Copy. That should be what this is. Profile. Delete. We'll reload it. Here, we'll star it, and we'll join competitive CC. There we go. Is there ever a world that you could push this list to get to 13 a turn? Threatening 13 a turn consistently, the variants can threaten a 3-turn kill rather than a 4-turn one. The issue with trying to make it 13 a turn is what you have to tweak is adding in either like the red Hungering again. Hungering. It's basically just this card that's going to try to do it, because you need to lead with your Go Again, and the max your Go Again can be is 6. Dread Screamer, Pulping, Wild Ride. So your follow-up attack could be the big attack. And the big attacks would be like Hungering and Endless Maw. Oops, okay. Hi. Look, this is good. I actually do want to play this. Where'd it go? Shadow Blasphemous. Funny enough, that's totally a playable card here. I actually think we're going to do it. We're going to add in the Shadow and the Deep-Rooted. They're just a bit more draw discard. And we'll go ahead and drop maybe even the Savage Feast just to make it 60 again. And those are reds, which doesn't hurt. Yeah, we'll do that. And then against Iyslander, it's actually quite legitimate to want to go first. You just get your Tunic ticking up, which is nice. Yeah, so you can tune it to actually try to do 13. You just can't actually pretend that you could do 13 every turn. You could add back in the Hungerings. The problem with the Hungering was that they just didn't do a lot with anything like special for the deck. Like the cost curve was a little bit weird, because in a perfect world it makes sense that you go Pulping off of blue, discard blue into paying for a Claw, then you have 2 floating, and then you can like end on a Hungering. But the problem is the list is not actually built to be very blue heavy at all. It's like 15 blues. So more than anything, your turns tend to be like pulping off of a blue into like a yellow, pitching for claw, and then your 1 cost could maybe go to Boneyard or Savage if it's there, or your yellow went to paying for just like another 6 attack or Endless Maw or something. So the blue base isn't strong enough to really pretend that you get the pulping to extend off of another 2 cost super cleanly. So I cut them instead for more slots for the Endless Maws, because Vasily ran 1 Endless Maw and then 2 Hungering. And the issue is Endless Maw is just one of the best rates Levia can get, 4.5 damage per card on a 2-card hand. And while you're not very blue heavy, this card is still a 6 that you can discard, still something to banish off Art of War, something you can throw in Arsenal and just wait for when you do have your blues. It actually lets you block a bit as well and still have good trade. So I just value Endless Maw extremely, extremely highly. Okay. Well, we kind of do want some proactive graveyard fill, and we do want the pulping to go ahead and potentially land some dominate damage. Problem is we risk losing an Art of War, but we can just take the risk. We can just roll the dice a little bit. It's not the biggest deal. We don't have blood debt. We'll do it. Could we even... I guess in theory we could even... if we really cared about it... Well, if we really cared about it, we could go ahead, Art of War, push +1, banish. It goes ahead and, like, you know, fills the graveyard an extra 1. We draw 2. We don't have any floating. Not the biggest deal. Interesting. I've never taken this line before, I don't think, but I'm gonna give it a go. Who knows? This is most definitely, like, never right, but I've actually never taken this line. So we'll see it. We'll see what happens. It does get our miss out of hand, but we could draw into misses, so you never quite know. Alright. Oh, look at that. We discarded a Blood Rush Bellow. Oh, that's pretty awful. Not our fault. That was just the top of the deck. Uh-oh. That is pretty rough. Random draw discard. Yeah, I guess I would have rather discarded the Art of War than the Blood Rush, but, you know, we didn't know. And you do have to Art of War before the draw discard happens, if that's going to be the call. Okay. So the beauty of going first in Iyslander is that you get your first attack off without really having to worry about a true... well, I guess no matter what, first or second, you don't have to worry about like a Frostbite really starting your turn. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about that regardless, I guess. But that is going to be nice here, is we do just get to lead our turn with the Pulping or Wild Ride. Not worry about a response on that first pitch, because we only have yellows anyway. And them going for Frost Hex is really not the big deal. It's really not how they try to win this game, first and foremost. And we take 2 damage, no big deal. Alright, it looks like this is the Michael Hamilton version. Most likely Michael Hamilton version because he's running the Blue Emeritus Scolding. Which, I don't know if that's standard, but Michael definitely ran that when a lot of other Icelanders didn't. So it could be it. And it's actually, the Michael Hamilton version lines up really well for us because when he swings those attacks, heck yeah, we can block. That sounds fine most of the time. Alright, let's see it. Do we hit the beast with him? You never know. You never know. This is when their response window... oh, they had double Blue Emeritus in hand. This is still fine. We don't worry about the early damage here. We want to turn our hand into damage, and this doesn't give us a Frostbite, so... our turn should line up pretty well. It should. We could also, you know, like, discard... you know, like a Pulping, draw an Unplayable, and an Endless Maw. That wouldn't be great. We could discard Beast Within, and then it's hot. We could discard the Endless Maw, and then we can still definitely afford for pulping at least. Okay, that's good. We like this. We like this. That's exactly what we wanted. Discard Endless Maw. Still a card that fit the cost curve the least that turn. Still leads us into pulping, and we could even hit on the Beast Within, which would be kind of sick. Probably working a Claw and Arsenal on that. We'll see it. Smoke List also runs them. What is the Smoke List? Smoke List. Yeah, not sure. Not sure what that is. Okay, where you go ahead and get rid of his Ironhide. Not the biggest deal. When they use equipment early like that, all it does is let us do our math a bit better. When we look for what we need to present off of a turn, we know that they can't. Okay, nice. Oh, look at that. Ooh, wow. Very juicy. Not only do we get a Claw Swing in, we will definitely go ahead and drop Graveling. No reason not to. No reason not to. It's live off of the Beast Within discard. Jesus. Jesus. Yeah, this turn turned into 18, 21 damage. 21 damage turn. Not so bad, if I do say so myself. Eric Smoke List. Oh, Ethnic Smoke. Ethnic Smoke. Oh, we love some Ethnic Smoke over here on the Mansant channel. He is awesome. He used to be my like go-to background noise. The problem now though is I'm my own background noise. I've become way too solipsistic. I'm my own background noise now. There's just, there's so many streams. Sometimes I forget what happens, like I black out. And watching Levia gameplay is good. It's good for me. That my healthy dose of Levia, I gotta get it. Alright, this was pretty insane. We really like that turn. We really enjoy that turn. Oh, Ethnic Smoke. Oh, look who's here. I'm your background noise. Well, did you look at that? Okay, look, we added the Shadow of Blasphemfet. Very relevant. It is very relevant because in this situation, I'm actually pretty inclined to Dread Screamer and just play it out. I guess we're assuming we hit. If we don't, obviously that sucks, but we're assuming we hit and then just pull the Deep-Rooted right now. That's pretty good. I don't want to take the gamble on playing one of these first because, missing just ends our turn. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and play it this way. Because he can't tax us. So, we'll give ourselves our shot here. I did gain Go again. Honestly, I never look at the graveyard anymore. It's such a bad habit because of this build. This build runs like 36 sixes, so your chance of messing up the graveyard is so slim. I barely check anymore, but Jesus, like that's such a bad habit. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, I learn a lot from him. Learn a lot from you too. Nice. Look at that. You're just absorbing everything. You're about to be the best player out of all of us, Josh. Watch everyone's content. Look at that. The thing we can do here is actually use our Tunic because he's not running Crown. If we use our Tunic, we increase our odd of Shadow Blasphemfet hitting a 6 and actually keeping a card in Arsenal. It's pretty big. It normally doesn't line up that way because you normally need to keep this around for Crown, but we don't see that in this matchup, so this is awesome. This is, alright, this is no longer awesome, actually. I take it all back. Things have now fallen apart. Well, we will just let it fizzle. No need to pay. We'll just Arsenal and wait for our next turn. Man, that's unfortunate. That is now unfortunate. We won't take the damage because we have Frost Hex up. What happened to all that excitement? What the heck, Iyslander? Why do you gotta do that? It's really not the biggest deal. Both these cards are fine for next turn. And we didn't commit the Tunic early or anything, so this is also... Yeah. Take it. It's fine. Oy. So in this case, because there's a chance we do actually draw the Deep-Rooted Evil, the ideal arsenal is the Wild Ride. And we can pay into the Frostbite with our one floating anyway. Yeah, so we want to Arsenal the Wild Ride just in case we draw the Deep-Rooted, then this doesn't do anything. Oh man, we drew all reds. Yikes. Man, that's also unfortunate. So what that means is we're probably just making our turn Shadow Blasphemfet, that's it. Which is not so bad, considering. It's really not so bad. because we can just pull out the Deep-Rooted Evil, and it turns off Blood Debt, and it gets that card out of our deck, which we really don't want to see. Interesting. In terms of what we'd rather keep in hand potentially, probably the Endless Maw is the most relevant. So we'll go like this. We'll see if we get to keep it or if this discards. It's not the biggest deal. Whoa, yeah. A little rough. Last turn we really could have had some bangers. Banger plays. Didn't line up. Daily dose of Levia knowledge from me. Oh look, this is good. We don't even use our arsenal this turn, so we don't have to worry about the tax. Which otherwise would have hit us big, because the Wild Ride is a card we want to play most of the time. Yeah, look, there's so much Levia knowledge out there on the internet now, and yet still there are no players. What's up with that? You would think with all the Levia knowledge there's now been imparted to the community, there should be a Levia, like, topping every event. We should just be saturating enough of the field that we're out there, and yet we aren't. Like, it's not even that people show up and they do poorly, there just really aren't Levias. There was like one Levia at all the Nationals. I think there were like 3 at the Calling. These are 500 player events. What's up with that? She's not bad. She's just a stress ball. That's what it is. Because I love Oldhim too much. Yeah, hey, well, when you play a deck that can never be as stressful as Levia, it's hard to, you know, make that switch. Like, why would you at that point? Why would you? This is great. This turn has worked out pretty much exactly as we wanted it to. We can even pitch in the Endless for the Frostbite. I don't hate it, just because resource cards are better for our Wild Ride that's upcoming. So we can save the 1 HP. It's not the biggest deal. There are some of us. Yes, Ian. Oh, I'm glad you're still here. Some of us exist. Alright, so if we spend our Tunic resource, we actually save 1 extra HP because we're just breaking the Frostbite to gain that resource. Do we really want to do that? Do we honestly... Should we care? Is the resource too important? It was important on that Dread turn. I just can't say how important it'll be coming up. But this is a chance now to save 2 life compared to 1 life. Or no, so it's... Okay, well the difference is actually taking 3 damage or taking just 1 damage. So I think it's worth it. Because by breaking the Frostbite, we don't have to deal about this ping anymore either. So that saves us a life as well. It's minor things. Sure. 2 versus 4. Yeah, it's 2 life. Why not? Wait, no, that math's not right, is it? We just took 2, and it would have been 3. So we spent Tunic for 1 life? Nah, I don't think... Yeah, never mind. Ain't worth it. Alright, but we did draw resource cards, so that's fine. That was the trade-off, is just getting the red out regardless. Whether it was alongside Tunic or not. Levia is fun, but Oldhim fulfills my favorite class fantasy, being a thick boy. You know what was stressful? No block Prism hands. Yeah. There was that amazing game from Battlehardened Pittsburgh where it was like a dash versus Prism, and Prism was fatiguing the dash, and the dash like really threw the game. And then all of a sudden, Prism just drew a non-block hand and lost. After like an actual committed game plan. Just drew a non-block hand and lost. Very rough. Okay, so with this... We're really just looking to Wild Ride Pulping Claw. If we discard the Mark the Beast early, we could look for the Deep-Rooted, actually. There's no pressure to actually block with Hooves right now, but we don't know how many attacks he's realistically running. It's most likely like the Wounded Bull still, the Findles, and the E-Strike, but we might just have enough pressure that he doesn't want to keep those hands anymore. So just because it saves the life, I think I'll just do that now. There's no Husk threshold to think about, is the one thing. But that's his second E-Strike, and he might only be running the E-Strikes and the Findles. He might have sideboarded out the Wounded Bull. We don't know. We haven't seen it. And so he might just be in a spot to use the E-Strike to block 3 and the Finals to block 2, heal 1 from here on out. So, yeah, we're just, we're going to take that route. Yeah, we'll lead with the Pulping. Because I don't want the Wild Ride to discard the Pulping per se. Pulping also increases our odds that we do discard the Mark of the Beast. We only have the 1 miss. Do they even run defense racks? We haven't seen any. But it could be a cold snap. If it's a cold snap, we do want to play the Wild Ride out first, so we'll do that. Changing my mind too much. But because of that, our hand doesn't want to pay into it, so. Just because we know he plays those, there's no reason he shouldn't play those. He already played 1. Could be another 1. It's a great card. Don't blame him for putting it in an arsenal. I lost many times because of those hands. Yep. I never even once played Prism. The deck was so toxic to our player base in Michigan. The issue was we had a local scene where like 3 to 4 players out of like the 10 of us played Prism. And whenever new players tried to play the game, they would run into the Prism and just start to question their existence. They're like, wait a second. I don't really get what's going on. It feels like everything I do is wrong. My opponent is like explaining things only half clearly. It sucks. And we really had people like just not really buy in because of the Prism problem. They just were like, it's kind of toxic. It's like a little toxic. And it sucks. It really sucks. Because it's hard to have someone who's like thematically invested in Lexi, who's like, oh my god, like I love the idea of Rangers. And then they'd run into an armory and it was like 4 prisms. And they're just like, I don't think I want to play this game anymore. It was really rough. It was really, really rough. Okay, so we've got a couple things we could do. First thing we could do is... Oh no, it's going to cost 4 regardless, so never mind, we can't do this. I was going to say we could Wrecker Romp, discard Beast, Arsenal whenever we draw was one option. It's actually not an option. We have to play the Mark of the Beast because we can't get Wrecker to do that. So, a little unfortunate. Little unfortunate. But it's okay. It was a 12 damage turn. They likely don't get to stick the channel anymore, right? Because they don't have Crown, so I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to do with this. I think we're just totally fine. Totally fine. I had that problem myself though when Prism first came out and you were hybrid. You were the Prism who's playing hybrid like Aura Herald. I mean, neither of those was fun because as a new player you're like, oh well, my deck just doesn't have 6s, and then the Prism's like, yep, lose. Or your deck just didn't have like action points or ways to go super wide. And you're like, oh, just lose. It was not great. Not like the game only needs to be the new player experience, but, you know, those situations definitely suck. They definitely suck. This is cool. This is very cool. I'm actually really in love with that one Shadow Ablasmfet. I feel like that was the missing card. I think that was it. Maybe that's the way it was intended to be run. 1 Deep-Rooted, 1 Shadow Ablasmfet. First cycle, pitch it. It's a yellow. Once you find Shadow, pull it. That's it. No stress. Golden. Levia as intended. Maybe. Maybe. The cool thing is you can even trigger hooves with it, which is like kind of amazing for how you play this matchup. Alright, they blocked the full 6. They didn't respond. Interesting. I'm a little inclined to Arsenal the Dread Screamer more than anything, because Go Again is just so high value. So I think we'll just play out the Deep-Rooted Arsenal Dread. Or Miraging Metamorph. I just want you to pop it, baby. Or take 7. It has Go Again. It costs 1, so I'm going to buy my action point anyway. Holy crap. Like, that one blew my mind. When they gave Prism Miraging Metamorph, and then they gave Brute... Well, okay, I can't complain too much. They actually gave Brute pretty good cards. Swing Big was pretty damn good. Skull Crushers is actually playable. Bare Fangs, also good. Wild Ride, also good. So can't really complain. But like those cards are within what Brute already did poorly and well. They were already within that theme. Whereas Miraging was just like straight buff to Prism. Straight buff. Like above and beyond what Prism needed to do. Duplicating auras? Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, we really like our spot. It's hard to lose this. It'd be very hard to lose this. We can go ahead and play for a bit of the go again. We even hit the Deep-Rooted. Not bad. We could actually sack Hooves, actually, if he doesn't interrupt us. We could go Boneyard Graveling. Not bad. I don't know. He might Striders in something trigger Insidious. It could be the only way he thinks he survives this. I'd play Dromai if she had instant. Yeah, that's really what's missing. Dromai needs like her one interaction point, right? Like imagine if I mean Uprising is a cool card thematically, but the gameplay of Uprising is not that fantastic. Imagine if Dromai could like play as an instant the Uprising, right? And like have some interruptive effect. That'd be so cool. It's not how it works, but it would be darn cool. Okay, so the other option is rather than crack Hooves right now, just pitch these in for Deep-Rooted. I think I want to kind of unexpectedly present lethal is what I want to do more than anything. And we can even play through one Frostbite tax. We can't play through the Insidious Chill if he like tries to flash in a like a red or something. Yeah, we'll go ahead and trigger the Hoofs. Trigger, 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 trigger. Yes. Gain that action point. Yeah, Dromai needs something into Ninjas and Warriors. Yeah, that would really help her. It would. I haven't seen many Dromais try like this round's on me. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure this round's only says if you're targeted, not like any attack. I wonder if that helps at all. Probably not, because the problem is your dragons just don't stick. Ninja draws off them, right? There's all that stuff that happens. Whew. Alright guys, tell me the world where we lose this game. I don't see it. I don't quite see it. I don't think this Iyslander really did anything too incorrectly. I think in this matchup, this must be one of those matchups where they're like, oh, I just don't want to discard. I'm going to use Crown. But then like if they're doing that, they shouldn't have played for like Channel Lake, because Channel Lake did nothing because they can't stick it. Other than that, like I don't think the Iyslander really did anything like too blatantly incorrect. Like they played this on turn 0. They didn't keep cards for it, so that was correct by them. I think at one point they pitched like a red Aether Ice Vein for something, and that was definitely wrong. That card is scary. But I mean this really tends to be what you do against Iyslander, is you're pretty relentless. You're pretty relentless. And I think that Shadow Plasma, that's such a beautiful card. Look what it did. It pulled out Deep-Rooted. Deep-Rooted's already dealt 12 damage this game. So sick. Guardian matchup is pretty 50-50 and skill intensive. Agree. Also goes very long, so you need to have strong mental. 2 more Frost Hexes. 3 counters for Dory. Illegally snuck Kano cards into the deck. 2 more... Wait a second. 2 more Frost Hexes. Illegally snuck Kano cards into the deck. I feel like that's half of a story or something. What happened? I'm not a Wizard player enough to like understand if that's just a reference to a card that y'all play or something. Well, that just can't be right. Why would you not put that in Arsenal at least? Okay, I guess they're flailing. Well, we have a Blood Rush now, and we know they don't have Arsenal. And it's off the back of an Eye of Ophidia, and we have Tunic. So, I don't see how we lose. We'll put both those on the bottom. We just want blues. It's fine. We didn't draw the blues. We still win, though. We should, at least. We easily just discard a red to the Insidious trigger. We can play through the Frostbite, and we swing big for 10. If he Stormstriders something, right? Oy. Wow, he actually does run defense reacts. We didn't see any of those early game to even worry about it with pulping. That's interesting. I like didn't even... I mean, he might have ran them, but we just didn't see any, so I wasn't thinking about it. Huh. But he's at the point where, like, you need to now commit the cards. If you were going to go for that route, he would have to do it right now if he thinks it was going to stop my next attack. Because he can't survive it. Kano players were reeling after the discovery of Oasis, and now they're dying without their boots. Okay, he does go for it now, but we do play through it. Unless it's like an Aether Ice Vein. That's the one. That's the one that actually does stop this. But then I think he's still dead, right? Because we can just hold the Hungering for Claw alone. Right? Because he'll have to commit the Pitch card, the Aether, and the Fuse, and then that Fuse card is going to block 3, so he's still dead. So it doesn't matter what he does here. He is dead. Or she is dead. Alright, it is the Aether. This is okay. We literally win. Doesn't matter. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. Oh. Oh, wait. Well, that doesn't even work the way I thought. This is a 3 cost, so you have to pitch, and then what are you doing? I guess they're just flailing. They are just flailing. It wouldn't have worked regardless. They're just getting in damage to pump the stats. I respect that. I respect it. We won't even BM. Let's just go for the 10 right now. GG's. GG's. Alright, cool. Now we are at a happy 5-1. Now if we take a second to pretend, not going to pretend too much that these were like, you know, pro player quality games. They definitely weren't. But if you take a look at the record, we are at 5-1. We're about to play in a 16-man bracket, which is 16, 8, 4, 2. That's 4. 4 rounds we'd have to play in the Goliath Gauntlet. Which, by the way, let's go ahead and take a look at that again. If y'all haven't seen it, because we do have some new viewers, I think. This is the Goliath Gauntlet that we're playing.
Greater Fist is going out for the block, which
where
is
I'll be taking on
two
Pablo
damage off
Pintor
the
tomorrow,
blue spell blade assault.
taking him
What if
down,
we gathered
right? Taking him
16
down with
of
Levia.
the world's best flesh and blood players and put them head to head.
Belittle, creating a rune chant, attacking with overload. And
I love
that's
this video
game!
way too much. I've watched it. I've like quite literally been.
Pro Tour champion.
It's got 1,600 views. I have been 1,000 of the
players.
views.
Duke it out.
I promise
for
you.
a $2,000 prize.
I'm not even
pool.
in the video.
All the action
It's just so
starts
hype.
October 14th with a Friday night kickoff.
I wish I knew how to
Join
edit videos
Mitch
like
Leslie,
this.
10 and Grace,
Like, I wonder if it's
and
just a
Matt
template you
DeMarco
drag things
for
on,
a
or
flesh
like
and blood
you build
event
this by hand.
like no other.
It's so good. I love this. The Goliath Gauntlet. What smart marketing. Branding, rather. The marketing, I don't think has been that amazing. Like, almost no one knew about it. Which one of y'all come up with the name? Oh, someone says that right now. It was Flake? Yeah, good job, Flake. Okay. We can play one more game, and then I'm going to have to go for the night. And Jesus Christ, I forgot I have not told the Greek story, or the Greece story. So, we're going to tell that story in this last game, and then we're going to go to bed, because it will be 11. Or at least around 11. Okay, so one more Levia game. I think we're happy with it. I literally don't want to touch anything. That shadow is it. We're not going to touch it again. We've figured it out. Let me take it out, though. Okay, actually, maybe we didn't figure it out. The Savage Feast can definitely be something else. They can be. Do I want them to be? Not necessarily, but they can be. Okay, Briar. Relevant. I have a feeling Pablo is on Briar. He said he's on a Rune Blade, and he wouldn't say it's Viserai. So what does that mean? It's probably Briar. It can't be Young Chain anymore. Yes. Yes. Oh, good lord. This matchup. This is another Skullcrushers matchup. There's a lot of them, honestly. The one block, you know. The one block, you know. We don't touch the deck, though. We just run it as is. Well, actually, in theory, maybe we do put in the That All You Gots. They can do a little bit against Rosetta, but we'd be docking our 6 count to run them. Because we wouldn't put them in over the Art of Wars. That can't be right. We'd put them in over, like, the Savage Feast, I guess. Which doesn't feel good enough, I don't think. Oh, I don't know, though. I'm like, willing to risk it a little bit. Just to see if it comes up. Just to see if it comes up. I'm not convinced I love the Savage Feast. So we'll run it like this. Earthbriar with Crown. Spice? Oh, that's what Pablo's on? You telling me? You got the leak? You got the leak? Also, I'm not convinced that Skullcrushers should be Skullcrushers. It could just be Ironrot Gauntlet. As sad as that is, it probably should be Ironrot Gauntlet so that I can fill the graveyard. How sad is that? That's so sad. But, like, it's almost right, I think. Oh, I already took a damage? What's happening? Oh, it was the Sonata. What happened with the Sonata? Lightning Surge. Okay. Ooh, Revealing Tome. We like that. Let's go ahead and get the Endless Maw out of here. It's the least playable on that hand. Spicy match. What's up, Pietro? Love to see ya. Okay. The Grease story, and it's good. Sandra's already in bed, so we won't suffer, or we won't trigger any of her PTSD about this story, because it's freaking awful. Okay. Oh, this is actually a tough call. Do I just block with both of them? I almost think I do block with both of them. If I keep the swing big, it's pretty darn hopeful that it's actually playable, but it could be. Most likely, I'm just going to play Pulping Out with Claws. It's more damage on turn 1. It's 9 damage compared to 8. And I still would Arsenal. So I think I'm willing to just dump all those. I took a lot. That's actually a consideration, right? Going second against Briar. Maybe I should take the Null Rune just like I do against Viserai, going second. That's probably a learning moment right there. The other issue is, I guess I can keep the... No. I am going to block with both of them, because if anything, I want to just dig closer to Blood Rush. That's, like, at minimum, what I want to go for. So we'll go that route. We'll go that route. Not amazing here. Okay, how badly do we think we need to just Hail Mary for this win? If we think we need to Hail Mary, we can roll Scabs for Boneyard, Graveling, Arsenal Pulping. Trigger Skull Crushers for a 14 damage hand with Arsenal. That's like the real Hail Mary play, right? It can go a lot worse. We can roll a 1, turns over, break skulls. That's the Hail Mary. Do we need to do it? I'm normally very scared of this matchup, honestly. The safer line would just be Pulping here. Probably throw in a Claw. It's a 9 damage turn plus Arsenal. 9 damage Arsenal versus 14 Arsenal. Alright, we roll a 3. Okay. So we're just doing this anyway. Alright. Not so bad. Now we can make it a 15 damage turn, no Arsenal. That is now actually worth it. That follows the curve of what you want to do with this deck. It is worth it now. It is. Okay. Story time about Greece. Story time. Oh man, I'm a ball of stress now. This is my last game. I need to have made my decisions before our match tomorrow. Oh my god. Okay, but well, they're not blocking, so we will take this chance. Throw in all the damage. Fills our graveyard to 2. They are definitely attacking into us, so we don't super mind the graveyard being that way. But that is where the Iron Rot would be better than Skull Crushers, right? Is like, if I'm not in a spot to block, then I actually want to just chump the equipment. Okay, well, this draw is not great. This draw isn't great. We needed a blue, and it would have been a lot nicer. So we can go ahead Crown. It's really not so bad, actually, to go ahead and try to force the Crown, push Pulping to the bottom. They found a Channel Mount, also incredibly terrifying. But, I mean, if our turn can be 14 damage plus Reset Arsenal, that's obviously what we want to... That's what we want it to be. That's what an Art of War in a blue could do. Alright, he's making a Rune Chant. That's cool. He turned a card into not too much of a threat. Granted, he turned it into 5 damage. I mean, so that's something, right? Oh, God. It had to be Snatch. It had to be Snatch. Of course it did. Man, this is awful. If we wanted to be, like, insanely greedy about it, we block 8 like this. He can't even... Oh, he can't flash in Force anyway. Which actually isn't possible. He's on 1. If we want to be insanely greedy about it, though, we do it that way so that we can dig for the blue. We don't want to block with this hand. We're playing greedy. We want this to be a short freaking game. Alright, yellow's not awful. Yellow is totally doable here. It means likely we won't get our Arsenal, though, because we're going to have to play out this Graveling into probably pitch for the second attack or a claw if that's what it's going to be, and then arsenal. So it's a 10 damage hand. Alright. Okay, we're just hoping... we're just hoping for his turn to not be good. But, like, what can we really do about it? There's no interaction. So it's either good or it's not. Nothing we can choose. Oh. Okay. Kind of crazy. We drew into another Graveling. The issue was we didn't pitch a blue, so we were never going to be able to just Graveling. That was never going to be an option, unfortunately. We can go for the Blood Rush here. It's incredibly greedy, but the Graveling is turned on. The Graveling at least is playable. So we're likely to draw, if we draw even one blue, which we haven't seen in a while, we can at least come in with Claw Graveling and then reset with the other card. Or if it's a yellow, then we can go, you know, Blood Rush, Claw Graveling. So I think it is worth it. Okay. This is totally fine. We're missing 1 damage because we chose Go again, not the +1. So we do miss a damage, but we converted this hand pretty well, I'd say. Pretty well. Interesting. Big Levia play. You take the risks. You do take the risks, but you got to know what your deck's trying to do, which in this game is play it short. They outvalue the hell out of you. You have your spike damage, and it doesn't cost you a whole whopping blue plus channel mount, so you play for what you can. They're blocking with a Nimblism. That feels very strange. There's no way that can be right because they don't even have an embodiment. So they're trading a 3 damage card for 2. So that's already... We're already happy with that. Unless they didn't mean to do that. Unless that was what they wanted to crown. It looks like they're fine with what happened though. That's odd. Alright, I guess the other thing we could do here is potentially... Because this does have Go again, there's a chance that maybe we do swing the Art of War with Claw. Kinda not sure. I just want to see a little bit more about what he does on this turn. If he just eats it, then I should just Claw with this Art of War. But if he commits even one more, then his turn's probably so bad that I can afford to block into another, or take damage into another 5-card hand. Wow. Ooh, wow. Okay, this is exactly the tell I wanted. I think his hand's unplayable. So that means I should hold the Art of War to have like another 5 damage, 5-card hand, basically, instead of swing with Claw. Alright. Can't believe I'm saying it. I'm going to miss 5 damage for the Art of War. Oh god, is that right, though? Oh, it feels so weird. It's 5 damage. When do you get to convert a card to 5 damage? No, sorry. I am going to swing with it. My bad. Sorry. Have another action. Go again. From Art of War. Alright, we can go back to those blocks. There we go. I'll just pretend like I forgot. He knows who I am, so hopefully he takes it well. It's 5 damage. I gotta do it. It's 5 damage for 1 card. No, I literally held it that way so that if he did what he did, I Arsenal Art of War, but... Nah, it's 5 damage for 1 card. Yes, we lose the Arsenal, we lose the way to force Go again, but... You can't mess up that rate. And we drew, good god, and we drew into a beautiful cost curve. This hand didn't need the Art of War anyway. Not with this. I mean, this is literally just Dread Graveling. I don't even think we want to Arsenal Hungering, so we'll probably use it to block on whatever he swings with here. Yeah, yep, Pietro, you see it too. You know, we had to just marinate on it a little bit. We did, just a little bit, but you saw it. You saw it. Okay, Explosive Growth. Interesting. He played it off of Tunic. It dealt an Arcane. It was revealed. Nothing was revealed for the fusion. So what does the fusion do? If it was fused, whenever it deals, it gains +1. Okay, so actually we don't need to worry about actually blocking that card. So there's just no reason to. We will just say pass on that. If there's a hit effect coming, that's what the Hungering is going to be used for. I thought it was fused. If it's fused, you know, it's a big deal to keep letting all that damage through, but it was not. He snapped. Wait, it doesn't have Go again? Holy... Oh my god, I guess I just don't know these Briar cards. I thought it just had Go again. He doesn't have go again. Well, now it does, though. He committed snaps. Now it's a swarming. Okay. This is once again not a real hit effect. It has go again, so I'm expecting this to be some kind of a hit effect card. Otherwise, why would he commit snaps for a push like that? I guess swarming didn't have go again when the turn started, though, right? Because he hadn't made this. Okay. I'm still not going to block it, though, because he already has the embodiment. This could be a hit effect card. If it's not, then I can toss Hungering in Arsenal. It's not great, but it's a card. It is a card. Okay, well, I guess we... Huh, interesting. That was not very good by our opponent. We still have 4 armor block as well. He blocks with the channel mount. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is a very weak arsenal, though. Very weak. That's like what I'm talking about with even the red Hungering Slaughter Beast. It doesn't actually do anything for your cost curve. If we draw like an Art of War or Blood Rush, like it's going to be our finisher on a turn like that, but it doesn't fit into many of our intermittent turns well. We don't want to swing this like with 1 action point, right? That's trash. Alright, base block 3. It's nice flexibility. Forget that there's cards Briar can run. That base block 3. Who would have thought? Arsenal. Ooh! Blasmafed is with us, folks. Pietro. All our Levia players in chat. They're channeling our energy. You just don't lose games like this. You just don't. It's turn 4. We've seen an Art of War. A Blood Rush. Wait, open. A Blood Rush. Another Blood Rush. Now, to be fair, it is a bit of like a chain sequence, right? What tends to happen is if you see one, you see the next one because of the draw. And then you see the next one because of the draw and the next one. And Crown, that little bit of dig helps a lot too. Plus the pulping and wild rides get you a little bit faster as well. Obviously, you can discard those cards. That's not great. But if you don't, all you did was get yourself closer to the power. It's good stuff. Blasmafed is on my side these days. I think so. We're about to go 6-1 with Levia. No one can talk about how this hero's a joke, man. There's not allowed. Look at the stats. Look at what's happening. Oof, wrong one was on top. I need to undo. Yeah, all good. Undo. Okay. The Greek story. We have 10 minutes. We'll sum it up. I did promise it, but man, it's so exciting to actually play like some good Levia games, you know? It is exciting. All right, story about Greece. So, kind of a shit show to begin with. Because, oh, wait, actually, first of all, who of our Greek viewers is still here? We got Marios, which is good. There were a couple others. Marios, I think you're still here, though, so we'll tell it for your sake. Kind of a shit show to begin with. It was supposed to be a big family trip. Kind of like a big, like, smaller, close-knit, like my mom, my sister. It was like their big trip. Not really for me. It was for them. My mom and my sister had always wanted to go to Athens. And for Christmas, as a Christmas gift, my grandmother stepped in and said, oh, hey, I'll actually help fund this bill. And, you know, very gracious of her. She is getting to a point where she's a little too old to travel herself. So she now, you know, is happy to give the money to someone like my mother to bring me along, to bring Sophia along, my sister and all that. So my grandmother goes ahead and steps in and is like, hey, I'm going to help with this trip, but, you know, you need to make it like more inclusive. Like, go ahead, bring Ethan, bring Sandra, these people. Right? And so that all gets planned. And all of a sudden becomes like a big thing to look forward to because I didn't think I would be going to Athens for Christmas last year. Like, it was not in my book, but then all of a sudden, you know, here's this invitation. You're basically going for free. That's pretty incredible. You don't get opportunities like that when you're 25, you know? People stop giving you things like that. All right, what is going on? This dude's like undoing everything. It's fine. We're still just passive. He's stalling for the story's sake. He's listening, I think. I think you'll kill me anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it is a blood rush. It is a blood rush. Okay. Oh my God almighty. This is quite literally, we have our Blood Rush turn into Arsenal Blood Rush turn. What is going on? What is going on? That's nuts. We're not gonna like force it strangely with this Art of War or anything to try to get double Blood Rush. It doesn't do anything that relevant. Like, our turn is our turn. We deal 18 damage. We arsenal into a new Blood Rush. He has to block or he's dead anyway. We have life. It's just what we do. It's just what we do here. And he's in a spot where likely we can use our armor to pivot as well so he doesn't get an embodiment. And then this Blood Rush is absolutely guaranteed lethal. So, okay. So, anyway, this gets planned. It's pretty exciting. But as we get closer to the date of departure, which is like early December, all of a sudden, my sister gets COVID. And then my mom is exposed to my sister. And then she's freaking out because she didn't test positive for COVID, but now she's paranoid. Yeah, it's just too much. Yeah, I had the nuts. Sorry. Holy mother. All right, he's a good sport about it though. This was a nuts game. You don't lose. I don't think it's possible to lose games like this. It ain't it. It ain't possible. We even took like our greedy line with Husk and Crown and it worked. GG's, man. GG's. All right, what does that put us for the night? That puts us at 6-1. What was our loss? Oldhim. It was our loss to Oldhim, and that's why we changed the deck. That's right. We literally changed the deck. I think it's so much stronger into Oldhim now. Like, legitimately, I feel that. And we'll keep the Savage Feast. Why not? I'm not going to worry about touching that card. There's nothing else I'd really want it to be anyway. Okay, yes. So, anyway, all of a sudden, Mom gets scared about COVID. My sister legitimately gets COVID. But they're all the way back in Louisiana. And Sandra and I are up in Michigan still. So we were set to go. And while my mom's freaking out, it's like, oh my God, trip's over, whatever. We're kind of like, well, hold up a second. We didn't get exposed to COVID. Like, can we just go? And so, funny enough, it worked out that the bookings were not really cancelable anyway. Like, they weren't within the refund period. So Sandra and I ended up going to Athens and Hydra. And Hydra's this beautiful island. And one other city that I don't remember. But anyway, it was all basically paid for still. And we got 4 people's worth of accommodations, just us. So it kind of turned into like a dream vacation for us. We did not expect that to happen. But disaster struck as we got there because I had taken a COVID test. And in the US, the COVID test was just like something you rolled up through like a little drive-through. You just like got a thing stuck up your nose, and then they'd like email you something, right? That just said you passed or not. So I got a COVID test to go, and as soon as we get to the airport, the airline, which was like a Danish airline or something, said, no, this is not good enough. We need you to have like the doctor sign it. Like, it can't just be an email. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't do that. Like, that's all the way, that was days ago. So I call them, and luckily they pick up, and I'm like, please, can you like scan in like a doctor's signature on the test result? They won't let me board. Super time sensitive, yada yada. So they scan it in, they send it to me, and they still won't accept it because they're like, nope, like the signature needs to be in paper. Like, you can't do this. And I'm like, well, there's no solution. Like, you're basically telling me I can't board the plane. And for whatever reason, Sandra was actually okay. But for me, they had an issue. And so I'm getting a little flustered by it because it's like, well, what the hell? Like, I can't go. But we talk with them, we plead about it. We tell them it's like, our like little getaway trip, like quasi honeymoon, like, come on, please. Like, we really just want to experience like the country, whatever. And the guy goes ahead and calls the passport control over in Denmark, or wherever our layover was. Copenhagen. So yes, it was Denmark. And the agent in Denmark, literally on the phone, says, what are you talking about? Let him through. No problem. So that was good. So we get through. The guy was happy. He was drunk or something. That was good for us. We get through. We're super excited because already like 2 hurdles massively avoided for us. We have an amazing layover in Copenhagen. It's so freaking cool. It was after Christmas. So it was like kind of New Year's time. Really, really cool. Then we get to Athens, and we're exploring the city, and we're trying to make it to the ferry to get to Hydra, because the first like 3 or 4 days we were supposed to stay in Hydra, this beautiful beautiful little like fishing village on an island, a lot of mountains to hike, very fun. So we're trying to like make our way to the ferry depot, and along the way we find like a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and you know, we're hungry at this point. We decide, okay, like whatever, let's not use our map, let's not like check reviews or anything, let's just like jump in and experience like a little hole-in-the-wall spot. And it was delicious food. It really was. It was like you know, pasta tossed in like a cheese wheel. It was like these big hunks of I think it was like pork ribs or something. There was some salad. Like, it was good food. It was good food. It was very heavy food though, and definitely felt like passing out after we ate that lunch. But it was good and all. We get back on the ferry, or we get to the ferry. We jump on board. We go to Hydra, and at first I thought it was just seasickness. I'm like, oh my god. Like, this is getting to me. Something's wrong. I feel awful. But I try to stick through it. I'm like, look, the ferry ride's only like an hour and a half. It's good. We made it to Hydra. And I like cannot even walk. Like, my stomach is cramping so bad. I need to find a bathroom. We rush to the hotel. I run upstairs and just kind of like, you know, the works. Food poisoning. Just... it's coming out the front, coming out the back. I'm shivering. I'm weak. It's horrible. Horrible. And almost the worst I've ever had it. I've had worse in Budapest one time. But this was bad. Like, I really couldn't move. I couldn't leave the bathroom. You know, you take a sip of water and it's like immediately out of you, right? It's horrible. It's just the worst feeling. And it did not go away. The entire night, I was just like literally shaking with this. It was so bad. And so the next morning, when we're supposed to be out hiking and enjoying everything, Sandra is just like running around trying to find pharmacies that are open, but almost none were because it was like a Sunday or something. And she finally comes back with like some vitamin C tablets and like, you know, some like bananas, like whatever can help. And it was okay. I could stomach it, but I still just had negative energy. Like could not move, like woozy in the head, stomach still in massive pain, and definitely need to be close to a bathroom still. So basically our entire time in Hydra, I was sick. I only left like on the last day once. Otherwise, Sandra just kind of like went at it alone. Which, I mean, I'm glad she was adventurous enough to do so. She was safe. The island was really nice. But I was awful. Like I thought about going to the hospital. It was so bad. But finally recuperate a little bit, get better. And we wrap up our trip on Hydra. We get back to Athens, and that was a great part of the trip. The second half, fantastic. Athens, absolutely beautiful. We went to the Pantheon. We went to so many museums. We did a cooking class. We made spanakopita. Hilariously, everyone thought Sandra was Greek. They all tried to speak to her in Greek. She's not Greek, but I don't know. She had the look, and that was pretty funny. So yeah, it turned into like a great trip, but oh my god, that first half was terrifying. Almost didn't make the flight, and then that whole shit with the food poisoning. Anyway, but you know, the Greeks were great people. That second half of the trip couldn't have been better. So shout out to Athens. But Hydra, sorry, you guys are cursed. Anyway, that's the story. Full story. We wrapped it up at 11:01. 11:01, not bad, because I have to sign off now. We ended the night at 6-1. You guys sent me your energy for the Pablo game tomorrow. I feel it. Feel the love. I think you all enjoyed the new overlay. It looks sharp. I like it. It was been a fun day with chat. So that'll be it. I'm going to sign off and catch you guys, next week. Oh, yeah. No, Marios, it's, you know, it's part of traveling. Like, if it wasn't actual food poisoning, it would have been something else, right? Like, there's always, because it was a long trip. It was like 2 weeks. So something would have come up. I'm not that. I'm a smart guy, but I'm an unlucky guy. You know, things like that just happen. So, all right. Anyway, catch y'all next week.